Alright, ladies and gentlemen of the internet, welcome back to the stream. It is I, Kargoz, and today we are coming back to you guys with Good Morning Azeroth number 28. Whew, man, it's been a minute. Long overdue. I hope everybody's doing good out there. There is so much to talk about that it's kind of overwhelming. It's kind of overwhelming. But,
this is the first GMA since Classic has been out, dude.
Yeah.
This is the first one.
We're a little bit ate up too, man. I don't know about you, Defcamp, but I'm a little bit ate up. Stream. I've been going hard. I've been pumping it for sure.
Yeah, I know
for
you
sure,
have.
brothers.
I know you have. I've been sick, man.
You've been sick. I'm sorry to hear that, man. You feeling a little bit better now, my man?
I'm feeling better now. Yeah, I'm feeling much better. I was sick for about 2 weeks, dude.
Oh no,
Totally,
dude.
totally just took. Oh, look at Sir Monica going.
Sir Monica couldn't even do 10K biddies. Did 11K. Thank you so much. First GMA after launch. Hey, Sarmi, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing real good. I know you were leveling. I saw you. Last time I checked on you, you were 40 something. You're getting up there.
They said they can't hear me.
Oh, your audio's really wrong?
Dunedain.
Let me see if I can turn you up.
Can hear me?
Alright, try again. Defcamp, talk.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Hello.
You're coming through way louder for me. Hopefully they can hear you now. Thank you so much, Sir Monica. I really appreciate it. I hope you're doing well. I hope we can play together soon once you get up there. Is that better? Okay, good. I think I can hear you better now.
Yes. All right, cool. Yeah. So I was just saying I was sick, but you know what, man? WoW had the classic. It's been a crazy past 2 weeks. Absolutely insane. So much has happened. There's been so much going on. You know, sick or not, I buried my head as much as I could. I had a week off from work. It's just been absolutely insane, dude. Absolutely insane. Kargoz, dude, you hit 60 how long ago? It's been a while, right?
It's been a minute, dude. It's been
a minute. I'm still leveling.
Yeah.
I'm level 52 at the moment right now. Taking my time. I'm actually playing with Melderon, which has been awesome because we weren't sure if we were going to be able to play together. And so I've been doing dungeons with Melderon. I've been doing a lot of leveling. And my thing is like I'm not super. I know you're really big with like power leveling. I'm not super big on power leveling. I love to just kind of like experience the leveling process and have fun and do all the kind of shit. So I've been, we did a PvP event last week where we went from STV to Red Ridge and had all these like little cool moments. Did some dungeons, did some quests. Been leveling with a bunch of different people. I've been having an absolute blast, my man. It's been absolutely surreal. Sick or not, I've been absolutely just at work thinking about Classic WoW. In bed thinking about Classic WoW. I wake up, I think about Classic WoW. I am just engulfed in this fucking game right now. And I'm just so happy, and I fucking love this game, dude. And it's here, and the experience has been amazing.
Your hype is contagious, my man. Defcamp, as per our tradition, we've done 28 of them bitches now.
Yes!
Defcamp, I know you're feeling a little sick, man, but are you able to bless
I'm gonna give it.
the people of Azeroth with a loud and thunderous greetings?
You know it. I got my sacred candles with me, baby. Here we go. You ready, boys? Turn those speakers down if you're in the car. I'm going to blow it out. But let's go. Good morning, Azeroth. How the hell you doing, bitches? We're here live in Classic WoW. That's right, baby.
Nice, man.
So
Well
good,
done. Worthy of GMA 28. Dude, I'm tired, Defcamp, though, man. I'm tired, man. It's been a grind,
Kargoz.
dude.
You gotta wake up, dude. Listen. I know you guys have been going hard, man. I know you guys have been going really hard. But the thing is, you gotta somehow try to balance it. It's hard. I know it is. The first week, man, like, I was playing a good amount and was getting in the beginning I was going pretty good, pretty hard, and I kind of just said to myself, you know what, man, it's Classic WoW, right? This is it. Like, it's here. I'm gonna take my time. I'm gonna just kind of relax, take it easy, play with my brother. Because I was going to go ahead of him and just kind of go really hard and everything and do like the whole dungeon grind and all that. And I said, you know what? I really want to play this game with my brother. I really want to play this game with my friends. And I really just want to have a good time. So I'm really glad that I kind of took it easy and not really went too hard. But listen, everyone has their own joy in the game. Some people really get a lot of joy out of going hardcore. Some people have a lot of joy out of doing it at their own pace. So I know you, Kargoz, you get a lot of joy out of doing hardcore. So how was your experience with that?
It was good, man. It was good. I'm gonna let Dunedain. My dogs are going crazy right now. Dunedain, how was your launch so far, too, man? Dunedain, you enjoying it, man?
Yeah, we had a lot of queues on you, but we'll talk about it later.
Oh,
but,
yeah.
The launch day, I was there, even though I had to go to work the morning after, and it launched at 12 in the night for us. So, but I was there. We made the guild. I played for an hour or two, I think, and then logged out and came back the day after. At the moment, I'm only at level 35. If I compare it with you guys, that's a little bit behind. So I'm actually surprised that Melderon is that high, because I had a talk with Melderon like I think 5 days after release, and I was ahead of him at that time. But then suddenly he got a boost, I think.
Dude, Melderon surprised the hell out of all of us. Like, I was probably 10 levels higher than him. And I wake up one weekend and he's like 2 levels below me, and I'm like, "What the actual like? What did you do, dude?"
I saw you on stream together, and I thought, "Wait, is Melvin on the same level?"
It's all that scientific testing about shamans, dude.
It is. That's it.
It's all
that's
that
it,
scientific testing.
I guess it came through. Like, you know, when I got sick, I definitely did sleep a lot more. So I was trying to do like this 4 or 5 hour sleep schedule, and I couldn't do it anymore. Because just being sick, it was making it worse, and I wasn't able to stream for like a week because I couldn't even talk.
Damn, dude.
So I kind of took some time off and, you know, played a little bit, and during that time I was kind of doing, I was like helping Melderon, taking him through dungeons, this, that, and the other, and he kind of caught up little by little bit, and I said, you know what, screw it, let me just kind of help him a little bit so we can play together, and it's been really great. You know, we've had Sarmonican and Ceres in our dungeon groups.
You did dungeons with Sarmonican?
Oh yeah, we're doing them pretty much every night.
Oh man, that's awesome, dude.
So my group is pretty much me, Melderon, Sarmonic, and Ceres, and my buddy Gigo, or we have our buddy Aesthetics who will fill in every once in a while. Sharp, we run Sharpthorn for once in a while, and we switch in a couple of people here and there. So yeah, we've been running some dungeons. Tonight we're doing Jinthro lore together. I'm really excited about that. So we've been it's been great, right? Because I really feel like, to me, I'm experiencing it the way that I want to, like playing with friends, doing the things that I love. Helping every once in a while, someone will ask, you know, help through dungeons. Yeah, Kargoz, 80K sub hype, dude. Can we get some fucking you know, respect in chat, something in chat for that? Can we get some ones in chat? I don't know, something in chat for my man Kargoz hitting 80K subs.
Kilroth, brother, Kilroth, I appreciate you, man. Sticking around, man. Always being a good mod and everything, dude. I appreciate you, bro.
By the way, you say you're going with like the most similar. Did you use any leveling add-ons or something? Like Questy? Defcamp?
Oh, me? Yeah, so I wasn't at first, so you guys know, like, I didn't have any add-ons on the beta or anything like that, and I didn't have any add-ons until probably around level 30 or so. I wanted to basically, so my main add-on that I really wanted, and I really like to have some kind of aura duration that lets you know, like, how long your Shadow Word Pain is on the target for, stuff like that, you know, how long your fear is on there. So I downloaded the aura, I think it's called Class of Aura Duration and all that in OmniCC. And then I said, you know, let me just download all the rest of the add-ons. So I got like quests and all this, but I really haven't been using it as much. I pretty much know, I've been using the leveling guide a lot as well on the Classic Battle Live site. Using that when I've kind of been going off doing my own thing. And then what I'll do is I'll type in the list of level 48, go ahead, you know, go to level 48, use the leveling guide for that level, do the quest that it says to do, go back to it. I've been mostly trying to keep it, you know, simple, do the quests that we have together, do them, you know, I know Sarmonic and Cyrus have been really going hardcore on the leveling guide as well. And then we've been peppering in some dungeons here and there. So yeah, I definitely did download some add-ons though.
I'm going real vanilla. I didn't use any add-ons yet.
No add-ons.
I try not to use nothing.
Iron Man.
I try not to use the internet even. I try not to use Thoughtbot or kind of.
You try to write down notes on a piece of paper, dude, with a pencil.
There you go.
I made a piece of paper to show it.
Oh man, dude, this is real immersive experience.
That's pretty cool, dude.
So I try to ask things in game if I can't find them, things like that. And also I try to do some fishing and cooking and everything. So the professions are actually really good right now. Most of them are over 150. I've enchanting at 225.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's good for the level I'm at. So yeah, it's going.
You guys look happy, man. I gotta say, you guys look happy.
So happy.
Like Dunedains, I can see the little grin. Classic WoW's out, guys. We're living our best lives right now. Yo, Voit and Goodspeed. Thanks for the Twitch Primes, guys. Appreciate it.
So yeah, it honestly, I feel a little bit sad that I had to work the first 2 weeks of the launch. As I saw many of my guildies, by the way, shout out to the Fellowship. I saw some in the chat, but many of my guildies had holidays, and they basically peak level to level 60. They're now waiting till I get there, I guess. But
I saw Papa Moon just kind of destroyed it, man. Yeah.
Papa?
Yeah, it was
Nice,
fast.
dude.
But
Yeah,
Misty,
Papa,
Misty was actually the first one. So.
Oh, really?
Misty.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was really going good in like the top 20 of the server, I think.
Wow.
I think so. I'm not entirely sure, but he has been up there for a while. But then suddenly, of course, we had Joker on the server.
Right, Joker.
My man
yeah,
Joker.
he got
Killing it, dude. Crushing it, dude. I was watching that stream.
world
Guy's
first, right?
friend of the channel,
Yeah.
he's a guy who's such a big brain when it comes to levelers, but he's still actually a funny dude. He's not dry.
Yeah.
He's a funny dude. He comes in my chat and just like talks, talks with us and stuff.
He's from Belgium.
Is he? I appreciate
Yeah.
that guy's a cool
Yeah.
guy, man. Big shout out to Joker, man. I think he's killing it too. He was on his stream was blowing up, man. Big congrats to him.
Yeah.
Well, the
That's
server
really good.
blew up after he got to level 60, so that was...
It was really cool to see too. Like, I really love seeing new faces in the classic WoW scene when it comes to streaming. I remember when Monkey News pulled up, and I know Monkey News has been in the scene for a while, but when Monkey News pulled up his stream for the first rag kill, he had something like double the amount of people that like Asmongold and other people were having on the side, which is it was cool to see, some other people getting some notoriety, and I've seen a lot of new faces, and I gotta say, and we'll be talking about this more, the overall success of Classic, and I mean, friggin' Ninja is playing Classic right now.
Is he
dude.
really?
Like,
Is
how-
Ninja playing Classic?
Yeah,
Damn.
they got Ninja to play Classic WoW. Guys, Classic WoW, like Meldoron and I and Kargoz, all of us, Dunedain, we were all saying for so long how much we thought and we believed in Classic and the success. And we had people tell us, you're crazy, you're insane, it's not going to be anywhere near this big. And I just want to say to all those people, you were fucking wrong, okay? I mean, dude, Classic is insane right now. I just watched, I was watching the other day, the H3 podcast. Ethan was talking about Classic WoW. They're talking about Classic WoW everywhere, dude. Everywhere.
Wow.
They're talking about Classic WoW, man. And this is our game, guys. This is our fucking game. And I love that. It really makes me happy.
That's awesome, man, dude. The hype is contagious, and I kind of agree with you, man. I want to see where everybody's at in the chat, though. This is the first real time we've got to sit down, guys. Everybody watching right now, as a group, and like recalibrate after this craziness, right? Like it's been about a lot of people took a week off from work, and then it took it down from DEFCON 6 to DEFCON 5, and then after 2 weeks, then even the kind of more hardcore echelon, they took 2 weeks off work. Even they had to go back to work. We're past that 2 week point now. It started to take a couple notches down, right? And we're here, we're recalibrating, we're trying to figure out what just happened to us. We just got hit with a hurricane of Classic WoW. I want to ask you guys to do a straw poll and poll you guys and see what your thoughts are. Has Classic WoW, is it a success? How much of a success is Classic WoW? Is it a success? Has it lived up to your expectations? We'll draw. How do we structure the straw poll? What do you think? Classic WoW. You 1 to 10 that thing?
Yeah, maybe 1 to 10, or like strongly agree, strongly disagree. You know how you have those.
I like that,
strongly,
dude.
Yeah.
Dunedain, professor style.
Yeah, make it so
Wow.
it's yeah. You,
Has been a
you can make
huge-
some analysis after it if you quantify it.
Strongly agree.
That
I
works.
feel like I'm at the DMV or something right now.
That's
Agree.
what I just took
No.
a survey and I had to do that. So
Disagree. Strongly disagree. All right, here's an extremely sophisticated big brain straw poll hitting the chat right now, guys. I need you guys to give me your just channel your energies. See where everybody's at with this. I'm curious. I really don't know. There's some people, dude, playing the game, different walks of life.
yeah, and I mean, listen, we have a lot to talk about today. I want to let people know there's a lot of things that have been going on, and some of it behind the scenes. Some people didn't even know about some of these things that were going on. Some people didn't even realize, the things like the dungeon meta that people were going in, with 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people. We're doing the hardcore dungeon grind, and we're just literally doing dungeons all the way to 60. And a lot of people didn't know the XP was actually bugged, so people were getting more XP than they should have been getting, and that's why a lot of people did get to 60 so fast.
It's true. It's true. And we can talk about the launch too. I have a lot of thoughts on that. You know, especially if someone who's into the leveling. There is so much to talk about. Honestly, if you guys are down, I'll sit here until you guys want to leave GMA because there's so much to talk about. Like this is actually.
I am down with that, dude. I am literally down with that.
This is like extra thick GMA, guys. Extra thick. Good morning, Azeroth. WoW is still #1 on Twitch 2 weeks later. Is that true? If that's true, that's freaking big hog right there. That's crazy.
I mean, guys, like seriously, the success of the launch of Classic.
Let's see.
Who's playing BFA right now, right? I went on my friends list, the social list, from people that I've had friends with who played Legion and all this, who never played Classic, right? Never even had an interest in Classic WoW that I thought of. Everyone on my list right now is playing Classic WoW. Everyone.
I still have a few people waiting to start playing because the queues are still too high.
Wow. Oh, really? That's insane.
Yeah, let's talk about that later. Let's first start with the actual launch.
With the launch, right? Yeah. So people have been asking me real quick too, like, why haven't you been streaming? I've been getting a lot of messages, and it's to the point where I've just kind of been ignoring them a little bit, just because I've been getting too many of these messages, and I just want to respond to it all right now. There's you go through phases as a content creator. Sometimes you feel really like struck by the muse, and you want to go hard and make videos and do all this, and sometimes you're just not feeling it. The combination of factors went into the fact that not streaming and all that too much. It's just we started a new guild, new community, and we're building that community. There's going to be friction in the comms, and if you're just streaming all the time, you're not really present in the comms in Discord, building the community. You're not present because you're talking to the stream first, and when you're doing dungeons with people for extended hours, people get grumpy, right? You turn into a gamer husk, as we like to joke around about. And I was definitely gamer husk in hardcore, pushing to 60. And doing all this dungeon meta, spamming the dungeons over and over again. So that had something to do with it. There's also sort of like an anti-streamer culture in Classic WoW to a certain extent. And, it's that, I'm not going to lie, that does affect a little bit. But ultimately, the streams will pick back up again now that we're 60. We did clear out Molten Core. We did get US 4 and World 11. We killed Rag on day 9, I believe. Might have been day 9 or day 10. I think it was day 9. That's pretty much that, though, guys. Nothing's wrong. No problem here. Anything. We're just starting a new community, big server, a lot of this stuff like this. But I'm happy to get started. And hopefully, this GMA is a catalyst to start streaming again, more and more.
There you go, brother. Hell yeah. And listen, man. As someone who has put together a guild before with Meldron, and we're also, Meldron and I are part of the guild as well, and trying to get things together. And it is real, especially you being part of the main raid team and everything like that. It is sometimes very difficult to juggle that, streaming, content creation, all these other things going on. I mean, you're a married man, right? So a lot of time for a lot of people right now is going into streaming, and sometimes you turn on the game and you play, and you want to play, and you don't want to have to try to feel like you have to be someone else or do something else to try to entertain. And so like you said, it has to come naturally, for me at least.
It has to come naturally, 100%.
It has to come naturally. I hate trying to force something. So if I'm like, when I was sick, man, I was sick for that whole week. I did not want to stream because I knew I was miserable, dude. I'm miserable. I turn into a little fucking baby when I'm sick, man. I am like the worst person when I'm sick. I'm like, Meldron, can you go get me some soup, please? I'm so sick. I was horrible. So I took that week off. But now I'm back, streaming a couple days, like 4 or 5 days a week, feeling good, and Kargoz, I totally can relate, my man. It's,
I'm usually a hype man, but Defcamp is actually even more of a hype man than I am. I already feel more excited and rejuvenated talking to Defcamp. It's been a couple weeks since we've linked up, man.
Yeah, it has.
That's exactly what you needed, probably.
Yeah, so just with the doctor order, dude, a big whopping dose of Defcamp in my life. Oh, yeah.
I got plenty enough to go around, boys.
Yep. So let's talk about launch. We'll talk about launch.
Yeah.
Okay, so take us back. Okay, so it's day 0. It's D-Day. Everybody's been making all their plans. The queues. I'm starting right at the queues. We're taking it through minute by minute here. Didn't have much of a queue. Was able to hit right into the world. Were you guys on the same page? Just enter world. Right as it turned, that sumbitch turned red. Boom, in the world. With that said, we were a little bit delayed, probably about a minute delayed, some of the people. Launch for me in those early levels, like the 1 to 20, was very rough. It was very rough. We definitely could have played better, definitely could have planned better. Stuff, we adapted best we could, but it was a rough 1 to 20. But with that said, the server never really crashed for us. I know a lot of people were getting DC'd, but I think I had, as far as stability of the server and launch, I think I had a pretty smooth experience, even though we had a scuffed launch, because I'm hearing the whole time while I'm streaming that people in EU are just having a nightmarish experience. They're in like 6-hour queues, like they're just completely DOA, like can't play the game at all. So that was my launch experience. How was launch for you guys?
6 hours would have been good. Sometimes we had days with 10-hour queues.
Wow.
Yeah, things have been rough, but the very first day, like the first hour I played, hour and a half, we got in instantly, almost instantly. So that was good. Most of the guildies got in because we were waiting on the launch screen until the button turned red, and it all worked out. But there was quite some lag actually for the first 2 hours. I think it was a really hard. It was really hard to kill some mobs and to heal people. I think it was at least a 2 to 3 second lag, probably more. So that was something we had to handle. But the day after, the lag was gone, but the queue started to grow, and that was bad. We went to Mokrane because originally we planned playing on Golmac, but we thought the queue would be too high on Golmac because it was one of the first servers. So when they decided to add new servers, we decided to switch to them. So we went on Mokrane, but the queue went up quite high too. And all of those servers now are, at the peak hours at least, are all full. I just checked before GMA. Most of those servers have a 5k queue right now, so that's
still
at least 2
at this.
hours.
Is it what is it? Busy time in EU right now though.
Yeah, it's 9 quarter past 9 at the moment, so it's quite busy. Yes, but that means if you log in now, you're probably not going to play anymore.
Damn.
Right.
So you still got some thick queues over in EU. I heard it got a little bit better, but you still got some. We still got some queues on Scarem. We're one of the biggest servers, and it's got about an hour or 2 queue tops. What about you, Defcamp? How's it been for you, bro?
Yeah. So my launch experience was a lot like yours, Kargoz. I think I got into my character pretty much right away. I was ready to go, like you guys were. Had everything ready to go. Was clicking on Skyrim, waiting for it to go live. I got in. There was a long time. There was a long time where the bar loaded up, and there was like this much left of the bar, and we were all sitting there in comms, just waiting for that last like little bit of the bar to load through. And then we get in, and there is just I of course playing an undead. I mean, literally thousands of undead in Tearsful Glade. So, I got in there first, and I don't know if the layers had kicked off yet, but there was just so many undead running around. People were waiting at the spawn points for every little, bat and this and that. So it was really hard to do quests. I found one little corner where I just started killing spiders over and over and over again to get levels. And within those first 10, 15 levels or so, I really just kind of focused on killing things and getting XP. There was a good amount of lag in the beginning. Like I said, there was a little bit of instability. But I basically was able to get in there and kind of, get in there and get leveling and get going. But what happened to me is I got disconnected at one point and was not able to get back on. So I was kind of kicked off for a little bit there. And then the queues they weren't as bad as you guys had in EU, but we did have some pretty bad queues on the first couple of days. If you were unlucky enough to not get in the beginning or not get in that first wave, you would get some like 8-hour queue. There were people having 10-hour queues, I heard. But luckily, once I was in there, I tried to stay in as long as I could. Once the layers, I guess, started to go off into their own, a lot of the zones became a lot more accessible. But Tearsful, pretty much all of Tearsful was pretty brutal. Trying to find people in the beginning.
Did you crash?
I got disconnected once.
Okay.
Disconnected once.
One thing I noticed, so the dynamics were cranked up in the starting zone. They were cranked up to the point where you would just sit there and just kill the same thing over and over again. So that came true. Another thing that I noticed though is that the people in Mulgore, it was like they were on their own layer or something. So Mulgore was very peaceful, and they could literally, it looked like it was just a low pop, medium pop server. Like it was no problem. You could complete all the quests normally. And then going into Barrens, it was also very chill for them. They were on some weird Tauren layer or some shit. And what happened to some people in our guild is that they were like cross, they were dual leveling, right? So there'd be a Tauren and Mulgore, and there would be some dude from the Valley Trials. They would link up in the Barrens, like if it was a Druid, whatever combo. And the Tauren made the mistake of joining the Orc Valley of Trials guys' lair, and it was a nightmare. Like, it just unraveled into a bazillion people all around them, as opposed to if they were to go to the Tauren lair, it was so chill. And he noticed that happen right before his eyes. I just want to point that out. It's not a huge deal. That was after the fact, but okay, so launch seemed like pretty solid, and then
yeah, there was one thing though on our server. I think on many servers, I think the first day or the first 2 days, there was the possibility that the layer disconnected and that you weren't protected for the queue. So some people sat in queue for 6-7 hours. They got disconnected because their layer crashed, and then they had to go through the old 7-hour queue again.
you hate to see that.
Oh,
Stuff
yeah.
like that. Yeah, but they fixed
That's
it
rough.
later. Yeah.
Yeah, I know for a fact there was a good amount of people, and like I said, guys, Tearsful was a mess. Like, I don't know how Valley Trials was Kargoz, but Tearsful was, especially when I first logged on, it was really, really bad. But I feel like after the layer started to, go off into, it definitely got a lot more calm once I got to, like, and I headed to the Barrens as well myself. So once I got to the Barrens, there were some points, like, you would go to the crossroads would feel packed, but then I went out to quests and there wasn't that many people out there. It was kind of weird. And I don't know how exactly the layers were working or how many there were, but certain zones would feel dead. Especially now, I can go to a certain zone, one zone feels completely dead, and then you go to another zone like STV or Tenaris, and it's packed, right? It still feels kind of weird. It still feels like I don't know what's going on with the layers now, if they're starting to drop them off or whatever. But the launch experience for me, especially in the beginning, it kind of was like, crazy. And I know everyone's story is different, right? They're gonna have all these crazy, most people were sitting waiting in queue for hours and hours and hours on end. But as far as launches go, in my experience, right, and this is my experience, someone else could have completely different experience. Mine was pretty good, honestly.
It was just better than I expected, to be honest.
Yeah.
It was better than I expected. And then another thing I want to kind of talk about too is layering. So layering, it's hard to gauge how much of an impact that's had on the economy. From my own little personal, small brain perspective, it hasn't had as much of an impact as I thought it was going to have. Maybe it has, and we still have yet to see the repercussions of that. I was hearing rumors that some people have bazillions of lotuses and arcane crystals and all types of stuff. The most I was able to exploit layering or take advantage of it or whatever was doing a little circuit with mining nodes in Hinterlands. I would just do a circuit, layer hop, do a circuit, and I was just nonstop power leveling my mining, like super fast. So some of the gathering stuff got a little bit scuffed, but I wasn't able. I went to Nazjack in Arathi Highlands to try and get Title Charm at 38 on the dot with my dual leveling partner, and I was going from layer to layer to layer to layer, and I couldn't find him, dude. And I was pretty ahead of the curve at that point at 38. I was looking for him. Couldn't find him. Went back again. Tried to go through the layers and find him. I don't know if that dude's not in the game. If anyone has a title charm,
personally that has title charm yet. I don't know of any person personally on my server that I've met that in our guild or anything that has title charm yet. So,
I feel the layering is really ruining some parts of the game, honestly. But I think it depends on the server. If you're on if you're on like a medium or a high pop server, it could be fine, I suppose. But I feel on Mokrane it's really bad. I think, but that's a guess, of course. I think Mokrane has something like 7 to 9 layers, and there's channel. It's probably on all servers, but we have a channel /layer, so you can ask there to move to a layer. Things like that. It really takes away a lot, I feel, from the community, and two, also for the economy. The auction house is packed with stuff. The prices are inflated. People have lots and lots of stuff that should be expensive but isn't really that expensive right now. That's also because it's early game, of course. But I feel like it has a big impact. I don't like the layer hopping. I hate layers still.
And you're coming kind of full circle on this too, because you were actually kind of optimistic about layering. We were on the at least I was really super negative about layering heading into this, and now we're kind of doing a little 180 here. Interesting.
Yeah, if they would have used layers to go to a maximum of 3 layers, 2 to 3 layers, that would have been okay, I think, just to kind of get people in the game. But then they decided suddenly to let more layers, to let more people in the same realms. I don't know if you noticed, but I think it was the same in the US. I think a week after release, they allowed many more people on the server, so they actually added layers to our server. So they went up from, like, I think it was 3 to 4 to the double of that. So the queues dropped down, but the community doubled.
But let me ask you something though, and for those of you guys who are playing the game right now and who play private servers and have played vanilla back in the day and are sensitive to the price point of stuff, right? Just how much 20 silk cloth is going to sell for, how much Devil Source set's going to sell for. I was expecting stuff to be cheaper. I was expecting everything to be like super devalued in this layering economy, and I'm sometimes a little surprised when I go search stuff and it's kind of expensive still. What do you guys think? Is that just me? Maybe I'm just crazy. I'm not the best gold auction house worker person. You know, I'm not. I really don't know too much.
Certain items are. It's weird, right? Because like a stack of linen cloth on the server just now was going for like 50 silver, which is like
50?
kind of high. Yeah.
Holy shit.
And then like I saw someone trying to sell freezing band for 800 gold. Someone trying to sell Kang, and then someone, and on the other hand, someone trying to sell Kang the Decapitator was on the auction house for 50 gold, right? So it's like some items are like really off, some items are really low. Certain things that would be used for more people at level 60 are starting to become more expensive. Things that because people are leveling so quick, right? That a lot of things like that, like certain twink items, right? They're going for really cheap. Things that are for people at lower level are starting to get really cheap. So many people have their eyes set on 60 right now that a lot of the things that are level 60, for level 60 are the more expensive things, right? Mm-hmm. When, usually you would see something like a twink item that would go for a lot of gold is going for really cheap right now. So, and then you have to keep into effect, right, is like, what people are looking forward to, doing MC, all this, Elemental Fire farm, this, that, and other, which for a while, Elemental Fire was really cheap for a long time, and now it's going up a little bit. So I think, the layers definitely do have an effect of that. I think right now it does feel like, to me at least, that I don't know if some of the layers are starting to go away, but I feel like right now would be a good time to start dropping layers or start getting rid of it.
Oh, they have been. They have been, yeah. It feels like they have been. One thing, before I forget, someone made a really good comment in the chat. Everybody wake up for 1 second. Wake up, splash of water in your face. They're saying that some of the people that are the big brains taking advantage of layering are hoarding it right now to try and inflate prices as best they can. I've gotten a little bit of taste of that. There's like some Illuminati level people on the servers. Like right now, Onslaught on our server, they have been nothing but gentlemen and scholars to us. They've sold us consumables on that week 1 rag push that we had, and basically allowed us to clear out Ragnaros on day 9. Big shout out to Onslaught. I'm just saying, they're very big brain, elite Navy SEAL Special Force commandos of Classic WoW, and it was awesome going through ZF with them, and they were sharing all their strats and stuff. But they were just zipping through the layers, dude. They were just like time traveling in that first week, going just looting all these different nodes and going crazy with that. I wouldn't be surprised if they have a bunch of stuff stashed away, waiting down the line to sell this stuff later. And
that's definitely going to happen, I think. And that's really bad.
Here's another thing that we only found out about 2 days ago, Defcamp. This was 2 days ago we found out about. I can only think that some of the really big brains knew about this because, for example, Grizzly, Onslaught, Apes, these people knew about the 10-man dungeon meta before the game hit. Yeah. They found out in the beta and they kept that shit top secret, dude. They had like secret clearance right there. Nobody was spreading Demo Roar. These people were practicing pulls in ZF, in BRD, and knowing a lot of these strategies beforehand. We're practicing them and hit the ground absolutely sprinting come Classic, and I have nothing but respect for them. Like, those dudes go hard in the paint. I can't believe it that they were practicing that. But here's another thing I was going to say. This is one thing we found out a couple days ago. You can layer inside a dungeon, or you could layer inside of a dungeon. So you can clear up to like Rast Frostwhisper and Skolomance, who drops the flasks. You can clear up to like, that's a really high impact one because there's a bunch of bosses really condensed. And then you can get invited to another layer and all the bosses will respawn. So you can layer inside of a dungeon. That was fixed.
Inside of the dungeon.
That was fixed very recently in the last couple of days or so. We saw S-Fan the other day. He was going through Molten Core. All the bosses respawn in Molten Core for them. I don't know what they did about that, if anything at all. But
wow.
If people knew about that from the jump, and they started working on that, and they got to 60 in like 3 days played, and they just started cranking on that, and they just have, you never know what's out there. I mean, all I'm going to say...
And getting like multiple drops of tier 2 on Rag, and like, that's insane. I mean, that's...
Honestly, to me, layering is just such a joke.
I mean, there were so many
I hope it would be good, but yeah. I understand people use it because Blizzard doesn't use it, so that's just fine, I guess. But I really, if we could do it again, please remove layering. It's disgusting.
I agree.
It shouldn't be in Classic. It ruins a lot of the gameplay right now. In my opinion, at least on high population servers, economy is fucked. I never meet the same people again because we have 10 layers or something.
And I think the fact too is like, and we all knew. I mean, a lot of us knew, like going into this, people were going to abuse the fact of the layering. Right?
It was a new meta. It's a new meta. Blizzard's gonna. People are going to take the path of least resistance. That's on Blizzard, right? They set up the conditions so that there's this layering. This is a new meta. This is new pacing of content. This is a new world. It's like I know a lot of people that are viewing Classic WoW as they're having a blast, but they're basically viewing it as like a fun server to a certain extent. Like it's a new meta, it's new rules, economy is totally different, everything is different, and they're not trying to compare it apples to apples with old school vanilla WoW. This is a new meta, a new experience, and they're still having a ton of fun because the game is so good.
It's not that I don't have fun. It's just I hoped for actually for a vanilla experience. As you know, I actually hoped for patch by patch progression, and this is totally different. So I have to switch my mindset and look at it as it's a totally new game. But then again, I really don't like the layering. So
I try to think like how else, we all try to think of like what other things could they do, and you look at it now, right? When you think about just how many people are playing Classic right now, I don't know if anything else honestly would have worked other than layering.
Oh yeah, I think so.
Oh, maybe more servers.
Yeah,
I know more servers, but like I understand that. It's just when it comes to the launch experience, and maybe I should restate that, right? Because like looking at how we had our launch experience, imagine, I don't know, like how many servers you think would be needed to have launch experiences that would be something, because you got to remember, like original vanilla launch, the game progressed over time, became more popular. A Classic WoW launch where we had as many people playing as we did at Classic WoW, even if you had tons of servers, I still think it would have been an insane launch experience.
Yeah, I agree. But but I think we needed a lot more servers, and then we could use layering, but only 2 layers, something like that.
Right.
Or 3, but not 7 or 9 or whatever the number is now.
Here's the thing, though. A lot of people are saying like, these people wanted, how are you doing this to the game? You're exploiting the game. Like, people are saying you wanted this game for 13 years and now you're carving through it. All I'm saying is you're going to set the meta like this way. People are going to take advantage of stuff, right? Like, it's just human nature. People are going to do this. It's just, it would be crazy to think people wouldn't take advantage of stuff to the nth degree, right? But what I'm saying is I wouldn't get too discouraged, right? There's going to be new freshes. And I hope people can consider like getting behind that mentality of like knowing that the game, goes in cycles. There's new servers that will be released eventually, and we can learn from some of the pros and cons of this wave of servers, right? And there's fresh servers that will eventually come out for Classic and keep the game fresh and exciting, and you can do things differently the next time round. Blizzard can make improvements the next time round. So it's not GG. Some people are like feeling like it's GG, well played, but
Yeah, I want to say something about that though. We are now phase 1. They promised to remove layering in phase 2.
Right.
How will they do that? Because right now, like I said, I think we have at least 7 layers. So 6
Still?
out of those 7 should go. Yeah, I think so.
Wow.
Yes. So that means they still expect a huge drop off. I don't know.
Well, yeah, they're trying to push server transfers. A lot of you guys.
Yeah, but it doesn't work. It's not working at all.
People are stuck in their, guild, and they don't want to move. And I have noticed that, the queue times on our side have definitely gone down. But like you said, it could have been an added to, more layers. It could have been, there could be different reasons. So
There's a problem right now.
I am very concerned that we were going to have these mega servers in phase 2. I'm still very concerned that we're going to have these mega servers in phase 2.
I think their solution will probably be to allow like 10k people on one layer and then say, okay, we removed layering, but you can have 10k people online at the same time.
Yeah, I mean,
that would be really bad, I think.
It's honestly, Dunedain, it might be even more than that, dude. I don't know.
Oh, I hope not. Then
I hope not either.
Back to nostalgia's, right?
What do you guys think, though? So in the chat, this is a question to you guys, to everybody out here. Please comment. We really appreciate the engagement. I do read them, even if we don't respond to everything. It feels like, maybe because I'm playing on Skyrim and we're in a big guild and it feels big and it's one of the larger servers, maybe it could be biased in this sense, but it feels like there hasn't been a humongous drop off at the more it hasn't been that worst case scenario drop off after 2 weeks. There's still queues and we're 2 weeks in. There's still a couple hour queues during prime time. Do you think, like, how long do you think phase 1 is going to be if Blizzard is absolutely committed to getting rid of layering?
I think EU will dictate that right now, since we have the highest queues. As it's now, they have to force transfers, otherwise phase 2 is not going to happen at all.
I think 6 months,
they
bro.
Keep their promise. 6 months, yeah, but 6 months is possible. That's
6 months
long,
phase
though.
1.
Yeah.
Very long. But I've been thinking for a solution. I just want to say, in case a Blizzard employee is listening, it's not my solution, but someone in the guild came up with it. How can they force people to transfer to a server? Because right now people don't want to transfer because they think the realm will be dead or whatever. Basically, the solution was close the realm we are in now, so close Smoke Green, and tell people to choose from 3 servers and copy their character there. What do you think about that?
Oh, so basically, okay, so closing the server in order to, so not splitting the server, right? Because you're not technically you're not splitting the server, but
Just
you're closing the
down.
server to create 3 more.
Yes.
Basically.
Yes, and so people cannot stay because the server is closed.
Right.
So they have to choose, and then basically they will probably be spread evenly, I hope. Because right now no one is moving to Judgment, the server that's proposed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know anyone that's so far that's transferred. And
me neither.
We know a good amount of people that have, we've talked about it, and people that were like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to be in the guild anymore, but they're still staying on Skyrim. So if anyone here, if you can type in 1 in chat, if you have transferred server from a high pop to a low pop, let us know, because I want to see if there's a lot of, but for what I know, and for what I've seen, a lot of people haven't been doing that. So
Haven't? You say have not?
Discussion point.
Have not.
Have not. Okay. Gotcha.
It's a huge point in our guild because many people don't want to sit in queues, and it feels really bad and stressful to try and stay online all day and not be disconnected and be stuck in queue again. But we cannot move because...
If you have queues, though, guys, go use that remote desktop thing. I'm not even joking.
Yeah,
You'll be at work and
again,
just get in queue 6 hours in advance, or just align your sleep around it, man. You'll have a much better time.
But again, if you go and eat and you get disconnected, you're stuck in the queue again. No.
So
but the thing is, we cannot move to Judgment because Judgment only has like 8 level 60s right now. So there
but
would
look at
be
this.
no one to play
So a
with.
couple of the people who did transfer, a couple of them already said 1 regret it, 2 very unhappy about it, or 1 unhappy about it. So people, I can't transfer and miss all my abilities, and I guess the people that are typing 2 in there are people that didn't go. So, out of the 1,000 so whatever people watching this, only a handful has said that they went, and out of that handful, a bunch of people from that handful are saying that they regretted it. Transferred to my mage for solo AoE farm. Oh, there you go. But
that's probably because almost no one did it.
You don't even need to do that, bro. Just dungeon cleave it. That's one thing I want to talk about too. All right, guys. You guys know I love leveling.
We should definitely go to
you know
dungeon
about
cleave,
this, right?
yeah.
You guys know I love leveling. It's something that we practice the quests a lot. We practice the roots a lot. We have this Classic Squad Live leveling guide. It's no secret. A large portion of the community it's the meta, man. It's the meta. What are you going to do? It's the meta. It's the dungeon cleave spell. It's the melee cleave spell cleave meta of leveling. It's a lot less moving pieces to manage in your head. It can be hard to execute, especially spell cleave, but okay, and that's a different beast, the 5-man stuff. I want to talk first about the 10-man dungeon cleave meta, okay? So for the first 2 weeks of Classic, if you've been living under a rock and you missed this, for the first couple weeks, a lot of the big brains figured out that, you know, you can go into a dungeon that has a huge amount of mob density with 10 people and you wouldn't suffer a big experience penalty for killing stuff, even with 10 people. So raiding a 5-man dungeon. So you could raid Scarlet Monastery. You could raid Zul'Farrak. You can raid Blackrock Depths or Elbers or whatever it is, right? And you would get massive XP per hour, 80k XP per hour, some crazy stuff. With that said, even with all that said, some of the first people to 60 were solo female Night Elf hunters and was jokered and stuff like that. So it's not like broken completely, beyond belief, right?
Well, it was broken because it was bugged.
But I'm not saying it wasn't. Like, we didn't see a world first team, do it via this way, right? Like world first was jokered and he was solo AoE farming. Right. He was manipulating the layers like crazy, right? We saw some big brain hunters, getting up there to 60 very fast as well. But so that was a big issue, and a part of me felt that was very unhealthy for the game, especially that 10-man meta, because you're just missing out on so much of the open world. And even right now, they fixed that after 2 weeks. So they went in and they actually fixed it. So it was an actual bug. It was an actual something that was not working as intended, and they fixed that. And now people are still, melee cleaving and spell cleaving, myself included, because if that's the meta, I'm just gonna roll with the meta, right? But it's kind of a little bit, it has pros and cons to it. I kind of enjoy it personally because I love seeing stuff die to AoE. I love lining up big pulls like it's a puzzle and stacking them all up and killing them with AoE. But to someone who's new to Classic WoW coming into this game and haven't played it in a long time, if they're met with that meta, that might turn them off, right? And they may be like, dude,
absolutely,
it's a bit weird because people don't like BFA because it's basically just a spam fest.
Exactly.
And now we're doing the same thing.
Yes.
So
that was Melderon's point in the video. So if you guys don't know, Melderon brother made a video pretty much about this and how similar it actually did feel to doing LFG and this and the other. And here's the thing, right? Because I love doing dungeons as much as the next person, and I myself did groups with melee cleave and this and the other, but it played a huge impact on the world. You would go out to questing and certain zones would be empty because everyone was in the dungeons. And what happened was the big brain people, like Kargoz said, started to do it first, right? Then people like Asmongold, right, Soda Pop, and all these people picked up on it, realized that, okay, this is a way to put a little effort in and get a lot of reward, which is very BFA sounding to me. You're putting not much effort in, you're going to a dungeon, doing these big cleaves with 10 people, all this, getting a lot of reward, not having to do much, you're literally in one place. And in my opinion, that is very anti-classic.
It is.
I agree.
With that said, though, when you made the LFG point, though, it does actually take a lot of finesse and kind of skill and coordination, I have to say. If you're running a spell cleave properly and you go in there and you're stacking up on certain points, you're cycling Novas through, you're getting people to pull effectively and then to pull CS, Ice Block, Blizzarding off that and cycling through with mages, pulling with Voidwalker stuff, keeping people in comms, coordinating. It actually is very engaging and fun. I actually enjoy doing it, but I do think it does hurt the game. I do concede that.
Over and this is the thing.
It's the only thing you do.
So yeah, exactly. Like I love doing it too, and there is a huge amount. I loved healing these cleave groups, and it's almost like I played it very similar to doing like Mythic Plus when I did it in Legion, like the high level Mythic Plus dungeons that were very challenging as a healer, knowing when to heal, what heal to use, as a priest, down ranking using different ranked heals, this and other. To me, it was very engaging, a lot of fun. However, I don't want that to be my only experience while leveling. I want to experience the world. I want to go out there and experience, get into some world PvP, have some friends and have these adventures. And listen, everyone to each his own, right? You have your own experiences. You enjoy what you do. But to the new player, right? To the new player who would come in to Classic WoW and they watch Asmongold, they watch Soda, and they see all these people doing these dungeon cleaves. I can understand how it would be a little off-putting to them, right?
Absolutely.
Because they're going into this experience, hearing all this about oh, classic WoW is a game where you meet people, you socialize, you do this, you explore the world, this and the other, and then they turn on Azeroth stream and all this.
With that said, though, doing dungeons with your boys, doing dungeons with the lads is very fun.
Absolutely.
It's actually damn near one of the most fun things you can do in the game, like point blank period. It's one of the most fun things you can do. One person is saying that it eliminates that player over class mentality. I would only say so maybe in those kind of new brackets. I'm leveling a mage as an all, right? So I have a mage who's like 32 right now, 33, and I'm going through SM. And let me tell you, dude, when I join some of these random like level 30 bracket SM spell cleaves and you're just going in no comms, it is an absolute yikes fest. It is terrible. Yeah. It is, you just want to tear your hair out. All 3 hairs I have on my head right now. It is so rough, dude. It is so rough doing these spell cleaves. And these people want to stack mages, but they don't even know what's going on, bro. Like if you're running a high speed airtight 5-man cleave, I would take player over class. It doesn't matter if it's a rogue. You can find your way to have impact as a rogue. You can go out there and just help set up pulls as the rogue and set them up. I would still take player over class. In a vacuum, sure, you're going to take the best player in the best class if you have access to it, though. But I'm saying, like, if you're a rogue, if you're a warrior, you can still add a lot of value in these cleaves. And there's also a melee cleave, too, which is another thing, too. Like, you can go melee cleave. All classes can slot in pretty nicely, right? Even hunters with the frost trap is so good, dude. The frost trap is incredible.
Frost trap, I've seen rogues, blade flurry, and it's not great, but it's, I mean, and here's the thing, right? Like I said, I love doing dungeons, and I love the experience, and I really do. And I think after the announcement went out that it was a bug, right, that was allowing people to get so much XP, we did see more people, in my experience at least, go more towards questing and we're doing. And I think I love, personally, to have a good balance between running dungeons with my friends, over comms, having these, like we had Melderon, Kigo, Sarmonican go in there, and then we have a hunter. So we had, it was myself, 2 warriors, a hunter, and Melderon, right? So we had Melderon tracking Wind Fury for the 2 warriors, a hunter, and myself, and is that 4? What the fuck? Am I missing one? And we had a mage as well in some of the groups too. Yeah.
Okay.
So. A lot of fun, right? It's a lot of fun, a lot of coordination, a lot of different things we were doing. It was great fun. However, I'm still missing, the parts of going out in the world doing that. That's why, we tried to have these adventures where we, went out and had some world PvP, this, that, and the other. But I do feel like after the announcement was said that it was a bug, this, that, and the other, people started to say, okay, I
think I'm happy with the 5-man dungeon cleave, though. What do you think about it? I'm kind of happy with it. 5-man is kind of cool, man. 10-man is too much, right? But 5-man is kind of dope.
Yeah, 10-man.
And it's not busted beyond belief. The 5-man ones, guys, I want to make that clear. It's not busted beyond belief. Like, it is my preferred way of leveling at the current moment. I find it more chill, and I can go longer and get less stress in my mind, and I can just go. I'll have more longevity leveling in that way. But Navigant Egregious, the people who were the main authors of that leveling guide, they kept up with all the top dudes hitting 60, and they leveled the whole way. It was like a moral point for them. They didn't want a dungeon spam, and they just leveled through quests the whole way.
Love that they did that.
And they proved that it is still very viable to do quests, but I have to say there's high barriers to entry when it comes to questing really efficiently. Sure, absolutely.
The spell cleave thing, I never did it, but is it always with the warrior who tanks?
No, those are the new ones, dude. I joined one today. It was the biggest yikes fest ever, dude. Like, the god comp for spell cleave IMO, in my humble opinion, as a 5-man, is with a priest, 3 mages, and a warlock. The warlock is the maestro. He sets up the pulls. It's a role that I love this role. I've never seen this role before on private servers. This is something that I'm very excited to share with the community too. If you're doing a spell cleave, and if you're the warlock, you are the maestro. You are like the dude at the front with the little sticks in front of the band, like telling everyone to go, like, you're coordinating it all, right? Some pulls you're going to use your Voidwalker, and if there's a pull and it's all scattered out in GY, you have to go with your Voidwalker with a shield on him and collect everything. Some pulls is a bunch of chain pulling humanoid mobs, so you send your Eye of Kilrog out and you get them with the Eye of Kilrog. Either way, you're staying a couple steps ahead, you're staying up there, you're using Suffering. It's a very, very fun playstyle, just like solving the puzzle and collapsing a bunch of mobs onto each other. You don't need LOS or Voidwalker to sack it, so you can sack it, you can sit there and kind of take a few hits as you wait for everything to stack up real tight, and then the mages hit it with the Nova and the Cone of Cold Flame Strike, all that combo. I love this role. Yeah, it started. People know. I love this role as a warlock. It is such a... People hate the blueberry right now. They hate the Voidwalker. Dude, the Voidwalker is awesome, dude. My Voidwalker is just taking non-stop L's, dude. Shout out to the Mark V. That's what I call my Voidwalker. You just pulling stuff with your... Because here's the thing, right? Even in a raid, right, Defcamp? Most dangerous time is the first few seconds stabilizing the pull, right? You want to stabilize the pull, right? In a dungeon cleave, in a spell cleave, in a melee cleave, stabilizing that pull. If you have a mage go out there, yeah, he's good at pulling, right? He can blink out there, he can CS block, whatever, and people can peel off him. But if he makes a mistake and he just gets crit or something, and then you die, the spell cleave, it plummets, dude. The XP per hour plummets down. You have a big...
and then the rest of them, they go to the healer, and then...
Exactly. You have a big chunky Voidwalker out there taking all that damage. You can sack for a shield. Even in the worst case scenario, he dies. He gets messed up. You sack him, and then you can just agony a few targets, and they all start collapsing on you perfectly. It's so much less risk. It's incredible, dude. Pulling with the Voidwalker is amazing. And also the eye, too, right? But the problem with the eye, though, is it gets one-shotted, so it can only survive long enough as the shield. So I get Defcamp shield on him. He can take maybe 4 or 5 hits from an elite, but once that shield goes down, it's Sneaky Night-Night for the eye is dead. So the best thing to do is those big hallways where you chain pull a bunch of humanoids. You send the eye at the last humanoids, and then you just dance, you strafe in front of them, and then it'll chain pull everything there. But you have these different tools for different scenarios. It's really, really cool. I love it.
And
love it.
And the fact that you love that, I love healing that just as much, because it's so different than just healing a tank in a dungeon, right? Because you're getting these big heals where, you know, I mean, if everything goes right, you really don't have to heal that much because it's not getting hit. Every once in a while, you know, you give that person that shield, they get a massive hit. You got that heal, that greater heal rank, whatever your level you are, rank 2, sitting there waiting to go, hits them. It's very keeps you on edge, right? Keeps you on edge.
I'm sorry. I love your excitement, Kargoz.
I love Warlock.
And then we had Rap God.
Warlock is so good, dude. Warlock is
That's
so
just
good.
my 2 cents on the dungeon leveling, the Cleave leveling thing. I think it should be a viable way to level, but I don't think it should be the best way to level. Sorry.
Yeah.
I think it should be a little bit nerfed in experience.
As of now, it's not the best way to level, though.
Say that.
That's the thing. As of now, it's not the best way to level.
Yeah,
Like,
but
Joker's world first. We got some female Night Elf Hunters there.
Specific, right?
Someone
that's
just
class
asked,
specific.
Kargoz, I want to hear your and the guys on is the spell cleave a good way to make money? So that's a big thing. Is like, you know, that's exactly. So a lot of people were doing this spell cleave, and
you lose money.
You get to level 40, and you have no money for your mount. Kargoz, luckily, he's a warlock, didn't have to worry about that.
You have no money, dude. If you're buying max strength water and you're doing what you got to do, you're doing what you're supposed to do to pump it, you lose money.
Exactly.
Every run you lose money.
That's another thing right there. Is if you are doing the spell cleave, and maybe you get lucky and you'll get a BOE or whatever, but you know, good luck with that. And who's gonna buy it, right? Who's gonna buy a level 34 BOE? You know, blue. No one's gonna want it because everyone's getting the 60. So it's very hard to make money doing it. Maybe you get some cloth or this, that, and the other, but you know, you make much more money doing quests, being out in the world, getting loot, things, this, that, and the other. So you gotta weigh your options. Like myself, I've been, I think, doing a pretty good mix of both. I've been doing some dungeons. Primarily, I'd say I'd be doing quests and outdoor quests, and you know, but we've been doing a pretty good mix, I think, and I've really been enjoying it, because for us, it's been more of like I said before, you know, just a chill experience, you know, getting there together. But you know, the other thing was that we forgot to mention for the warriors, and especially the melee cleave or the druids as well, was the demo roar and the demo shout bug. That was allowing people to basically get aggro on massive amounts of mobs and hold aggro, not just get it but hold it by spamming demo roar and spamming demo shout. So yeah, very, very, very it did not feel right. And both these things, I want to just say, Melderon made a video, and we both talked about these things. And I'm not saying that Melderon but Melderon made the video about the dungeon meta and all this, and then I think it was a week later we found out that was a bug. And then Melderon was talking about the demo roar and the demo shout thing. You know, a week later though, that was a bug. So it's kind of like, you know, people realize, you know, that when something's out of the classic feel, you know, it doesn't feel right? It didn't feel right. You know, this demo roar and the demo shout thing did not seem right, and I think a lot of people.
They fixed it, yeah.
They fixed it. That's good. That's good.
Yeah. So basically, they could spam demo. Sorry, go ahead.
No, go on.
I was just gonna explain what it is. So basically, druids have it too, right? They have some kind of equivalent,
demo roar and demo shout.
Demo shout. So like you could generate like ridiculous amounts of threat. You would spam it a couple times, and when we did these big ZF pulls, oh my god, dude, it was crazy. We pull so much of the dungeon. Everything would stack up on this druid. We'd wait for the druid to get like three of them off, and then you would just go full zug with hellfire and pyroclasm. Everything would get cheap shotted around you. Insane. And people were saying that can't be right. Like tanking is too easy, and they fixed it. You know, yesterday or 2 days ago or something like that. So it's no longer.
So it was working multiplicatively. So if the more mobs you had, the more threat you had. and Battle Shout was working that way as well, and I think they fixed that as well for Battle Shout. But real quick, and I know we're saying this stuff when we're saying this, but I just want to give a real quick shout out to Apes. They got the first rag kill within like what was it, 5-6 days
That's
of
EU
Classic.
again, man.
Yeah, EU again. I was so proud to see a private server guild. These guys they're one of us, right? They in my eyes at least, like, I've played with Monkey News before. I've been on the opposite side of him. I've been killed by him many times in like the beta and stuff like that. And he's a good guy. Their guild fucking really try hards. They're whatever. But the fact that it was a private server guild, and I'm nothing against Method, but to me Method doesn't really say classic WoW, right?
Mm-hmm. I'm on the same page. I was happy they took it. Apes good players,
I was
man.
really happy that Apes took the kill. So shouts out to them. I know they just, like I said, and when it was up there, I think Monkey News had like 100,000 people watching him or whatever when it happened. Cool to see. I watched it live, saw it happen live. It was friggin' awesome. So yeah, shouts out to them, man. Congrats.
I think it's pretty cool that private server guild took it. On the other hand, I was a little bit disappointed Ragnaros was killed that fast, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was expected, I guess.
Yeah, it was really, and then we're gonna talk more about that, especially with, we can talk about it now if you guys want, with the gear that is available.
Thinking maybe we should do like a little bit of a light part now.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
So
because that's pretty heavy
some personal
stuff.
stories.
Yeah, that's a good. Yes, let's do some personal stories. You go ahead, start.
Last thing I'm gonna say. Last thing about the whole leveling thing, because I see a lot of people messaging right now. Last thing I'm gonna say. I think that questing is still very viable, tier 1 viability. Like, basically, unless you have a really good high-speed cleave group set up and you're willing to hop in comms and you've already refined your pulls, you're not gonna wipe 10 million times and scuff the resetting. The leveling is to be determined how good it is still. And same with Dungeon Cleave. Like, no one has reached that skill cap yet, and we see people who are leveling very, very effectively, getting to 60 very fast as well. So I wouldn't think that that's dead. All I'm going to say is that leveling has high barriers to entry in terms of like knowing how to do all the quests and really big arcs and hitting 3 birds with 1 stone. So I still think leveling by questing is still very viable. That's all.
It certainly is. Yeah. Anyway, can I start with a personal story?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
So something really vanilla-like is talking with people, right? So I think it was on the second day I played. I was a human, so I went to Goldshire, bought a fishing rod. I went fishing in that pool there next to Goldshire. And some guy said he came fishing next to me, and we actually started the conversation. It was so cool. Wow. Yeah, it was really like also a role.
Like a rod. It's a nice rod you got there.
It was like, fish, are they biting for you today? I said like, it's been 13 years since I came here fishing, but it's so cool to be back. Stuff like that. And you actually add those people to your friend list. So that's something I started to experience from the second day I played. I really thought it was cool. Things like that are, making my day, honestly, when I play WoW.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah.
That is great.
I can honestly say, I had one moment that really, really, really was hilarious. And I shared it on stream the other day with everyone. So I wasn't streaming it. I wish I was. And these kind of things, they happen, right? Because you get there with people who I guess are playing BFA or not playing. But I'm doing the the Stolen Silver quest in the Barrens, right, with all the raptors. And I'm there killing raptors to get feathers, for the quest. And this was like a week or 2 ago, whenever, like a couple days after the release. And there's this Tauren warrior running around, just aggroing everything, right? And he's running around, and I'm like, okay, what is he doing? Because he's like trying to get the tag on everything. So he's trying to steal tags from everyone, right? So that no one can get the tag, so that he gets all the tags. So I'm like, okay, this guy's being a dick, whatever. So he's running around, and he runs right next to me, and there's like 7 raptors just pounding on him, and he just stops there and like looks at me, and he dies, right? And then I got a whisper in all caps with like 10 exclamation points and question marks, shield! Like
That's funny,
he wanted me to power word shield him. I'm like, dude, I can't power word shield you. You're not my party. He's like, That's not how it works. I'm said, listen, man.
He was level appropriate to all these raptors? He was going to try to fight 20 raptors as a level appropriate warrior?
The best part is he thought that I could shield him.
Yeah.
You know, because I'm like, dude, this isn't BFA, man. I was like, I can't shield you if you're not my group. He was like, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. You don't know how to play your class. I'm like, you know what, dude? I was gonna res you, but now you're being a dick. So have fun walking back. But it was so great. All you saw was shield, like all caps and question marks.
He yells it.
He just yelled shield. So
That's
now
funny,
it's a little bit of inside joke. I will yell shield all the time.
I'm gonna yell shield every time I need it with Defcamp now, dude.
Shield!
I'm gonna have a macro. Shield!
It was so funny, dude. It was hilarious. So yeah, you know, stuff like that. But honestly, one of the fondest moments I've had was doing our first SFK, Shadowfang Keep run. I love that dungeon so fucking much. We had a group with, it was like, you know, me, Sarmonic and Ceres, and it was all of our friends, you know, had Melron, and just doing that together, being in that dungeon, the memories, the epic moments, getting the robes of Aragorn, just so cool, so awesome to have that moment together with people that I love and play with. And, you know, honestly, you know, getting my mount, like things like that, just meeting random people in the world. I love running into someone and they're about to die, and I throw them a heal, throw them a buff, and you get that, thanks, dude, you're fucking awesome, you know, a message, and then they buff you or whatever. Like, I love those kind of moments where you're able to help someone out. Obviously, I wasn't able to help that one guy out because I couldn't shield him. He wasn't in my group. But, you know, other moments, I love that kind of stuff.
That's why we play support, I think.
Yeah, man. Yeah. So I can shield.
I have some good feels, too. So one of the great things about Classic, and really anything in life, I'm not much of a planner. I'm pretty type B in general. But with Classic WoW, we definitely planned everything out to the nth degree. Tried to get everything pixel perfect hour by hour and try and do whatever we could to get an edge, right? Because you know, I didn't want to get stream sniped. I wanted to just be successful on the server, and I've been planning this stuff out with you know, in collaboration with all these guys, Navic and Egregious. And once we got out of the Valley of Trials and we got into Barrens, and so things started to open up a little bit for us. We started to get a little bit ahead. And we started leveling, dude. It was like borderline spiritual, dude. Like I just couldn't believe it, dude. It was crazy that we were actually playing it. And when we did RFC together with Navic and Egregious, and then we did BFD together with Navic and Egregious, and we're all leveling up together. And pretty much, we had practiced this stuff on the PTR. We had thought about it, and it was coming true, and it was unfolding exactly how we wanted it to unfold for a bunch of levels. And it just felt so good, dude. It was very, very trippy for me going through the motions and like executing on the plan on the freshest of all freshes. This was the fresh. There will never be a fresher fresh than the fresh we just freshed.
That's fresh,
right?
baby.
It was very fresh. And watching it all come true pretty much, and doing the dungeons together. And we didn't only do that, we did some of the higher level ones together too. We did ZF together, and those experiences of that first group, that first wave who was really pushing, and we were sleeping like 4 hours a night. And setting alarms and getting up. It was a very cool experience, you know. I mean, people could say we're the biggest nerds ever. We probably are, but it's when people are pushing each other and people are tired and they're kind of ate up, and you're trying to push through those barriers. It creates really good memories. It was a very fun ride up to 60, even though it was very exhausting. So,
one of the best things, by the way, I did is that Paladin quest where you get the blue mace, Phrygian's Fist. The quest is called the Test of Righteousness, I think. Man, that quest, it's, some people might think it's annoying, but that is such a good quest. You have to travel all over the world, so many dungeons. Did SFK too, so
SFK.
Yeah.
You get to take care of that guy's wife. He's like, please watch over my wife, you know.
And also, like I said, I didn't use Questy or anything, so I actually read the letter, because it's not in the quest text. You get a letter and it says where you need to go. It's like 5 pages, so I read the thing and see in which dungeon I need to go. It was such a good thing to do. I really loved it. It took me a lot of time though, but I really liked that. I miss those kind of quests. It's only vanilla, right? Never came back like that. So yeah. Bob, Bumpkin Bob in the chat. He went on the journey with me. He was there in all the instances. We went to BFD, we went to SFK.
Oh, nice.
Maybe it wasn't
man.
Maybe they went with me to do Dead Mines too. All those things.
Yeah,
It felt like a Lord of the Rings journey, actually.
It really
Yeah.
did. It really did. Yeah.
I gotta say, man, you know, so far my journey has been everything I really wanted in my classic WoW. You know, there are some things that I am obviously not happy with, right? I mean, nothing's perfect, but I would like to see a little bit more hostility between the Horde and the Alliance.
Oh, me too.
I kind of don't like this like uneasy peace that we have right now. I just want to kill everybody, so I can't wait until phase 2 when we have honor, because you know it's so weird, right? Because I'll run around, I'll see someone, I'm like, oh, I'm not gonna bother him, and he's by himself, and then that person groups up with another alliance. So now there's 2 of them. Now they feel like they're gonna attack me, right? The alliance are just so dishonorable.
It's exactly the same the other way around. Exactly the same.
I'm sorry. It's
not.
Yeah. No, it's...
I love the 2v1s. Nobody wants to fight right now because there's no reason to fight. Everybody's off leveling or doing better things. I literally stand in the doors of Black Rock Mountain, like right on the way to Black Rock Spire, BRD, and all that, right? And I just sit there and I just kill Alliance, and I keep thinking to myself, when is this going to come back to haunt me? These people are doing nothing about it. Like, I'm just out there killing 48s. 48, you can get a shot. I can get soul shard. I'm farming shards on people. I'm heading out right. I have my rocket helmet on. I'm heading right up to their flight point at Thorium Point, and they're flying in and they're jumping off on their mounts. I'm just throwing up agonies left and right. Nobody's fighting, dude. I don't understand what's going on. Nobody wants to fight right now. Everyone is.
I thought it was because I was a paladin, but I shouldn't jinx it probably. But I thought paladins have like 3 lives, so that's why they don't.
Yeah, basically. But and one thing really good about playing with Sir Monica and Ceres is that Ceres, he's a hunter. He literally will attack anything he sees. He got 78 kills in 3 hours in STV.
Jeez, man.
STV.
Yeah. So whenever I'm with him, it's like we know we're going crazy, and it's pretty fun. I had some really awesome mind control people off boat fights. I killed a level 60 last night in Booty Bay. So there's a level 60. You know how in Booty Bay you can get on top of that like piece of wood that sticks up, and hunters kind of sit there and they just
aim shot people.
Aim shot people. So I got up there on the other one that you can't get people, and I murked this 60 dude. She female Night Elf hunter. So happy to kill a female Night Elf hunter. Used Inner Focus, Devouring Plague, Shadow Word Pain. Nothing got resisted. I just destroyed her and killed her twice while she was up there, trying to gank people and just mind controlling people off boats. I'm doing a whole making a whole video where it's just gonna be a montage of me mind controlling people.
Oh,
off boats.
I'm planning the same with Bubble Hearthstone.
Oh, nice.
But I have a question. I've seen like a huge amount of gnomes. Even more gnomes than Night Elf, it seems. Do you see the same thing, or is it just a low grain?
I am seeing a ton of gnomes, dude. I am seeing a ton of gnomes. It's like something out of a nightmare. I don't know why. I don't know if it's like people realizing, how good their racial is in PvP now, and that it's just, it is kind of weird, right? There are a ton of gnomes. Like it's
I feel outnumbered by the Alliance. People are saying there's a lot of Horde. I feel like on Scarum we're outnumbered. What's up, North, by the way? I see you in here, North. North, I lost my Mage Blade, dude. It dropped, and I lost it, too. I lost it, dude. I lost it by a couple points, because we were rolling for it week 1, and I lost by a couple points, dude. You hate to see it, dude. And I lost my Fellheart ropes to a level 58. You hate to see it, but it's all right.
Dude.
It's all right.
You're on Scarum, right?
Yeah, we're on Scarum, yeah. But I hope to catch Big North in the BGs, man. Style like Scarum BGs. Yeah,
Scarum
dude. Mage Blade, dude. Mage Blade's best, dude.
I can link you a graph. You can see it.
But yeah, Kargoz, I felt the same. I feel like there's a lot, especially in certain zones. Daenerys, right? I ran into Daenerys the other day, and my first, for whatever reason, automatic thing to do was to hit Psychic Scream. For whatever reason, there was like 50 of them in there. But certain zones feel so Alliance heavy, like Daenerys. Even the Badlands was like really ally heavy, which just the Badlands is in Eastern Kingdoms and all. But yeah, some zones are extremely Alliance heavy, and I think on Skyrim, I don't know if it has to do with the layer or whatever, but I would say on Skyrim that the Horde to Alliance ratio is pretty even, if not.
I linked something in Discord. I don't know if it's entirely right, but I think so.
Wow, pop.
It seems like Horde is favored on Skyrim.
On
How
Scarem.
much?
Oh, interesting. Let me see this.
Well, yeah, how much? It's not in percentages.
Oh,
it's
okay.
like 40,
Oh, wow.
34,000 versus 21,000.
Is that really how many people are on the friggin' server?
I think so. We use this
Oh my
thing to
God.
decide whether to move to Judgment or not. But yeah, like you can
Oh
see.
wow, it looks like Scarem is very horde favored. That's very
Well,
weird. Maybe it's our
a lot
layer or
could do
something.
with what time it is too, right, Kargoz? Because like if you're playing around 3:30, it's when all the kids got out of school, and we all know mostly kids play Alliance, right?
That's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Weebs and
yeah.
kids, right?
Yep, weebs and
course.
kids. Yeah.
Of course.
The graph, by the way, yeah, people say it's reliable. Some things are definitely wrong, but some things are right because we checked them on the server with /who. Some things you can check out, by the way, with
you
the
link that
number
in
of
the chat?
L60s.
Yeah,
I linked it.
Okay.
But yeah, it's not entirely reliable, of course. But
Yeah.
So here's another thing I want to bring up, dude. So North is in the chat, dude. What's up, North? Hope you're doing good. I know North, big
What's up,
pumper over
North?
there. Big pumper in the chat. Good to see you. Got a lot of stripes.
Hell yeah.
The dungeons, you know, Ubers, Libbers, they just
Libbers.
everything just falls over, dude. It just feels like an AOE fiesta. You just head in there, like everything just absolutely melts. Even that room near the beast, dude, those guys just melt. You can just AOE everything in them. They just get cleaved down so fast. You can't even, sometimes you can't even get a shadow bolt off, dude. Like your rotation is just like shadow bolt, shadow burn, stuff is dead, and it feels way easier than the repack. That's for sure. The raid bosses are falling over as well. We currently have the fastest Onyxia kill right now, and half of our fight was Navigant Egregious screaming just to use wands because we were so scared of pulling off the aggro. We were like, just wand him.
Didn't get one
Light
deep
damage.
breath, right?
No, we didn't get one deep. We killed her so fast. My entire rotation, I was wanding like half the fight, and then when she flew up and they were like, all right, let her have it. Then we went in, right? But she just fell over.
Were you really ranged heavy on that fight?
Very ranged heavy, yeah. So very, very, very ranged heavy. Ton of mages. We have like freaking too many mages, man.
Yeah.
If that's even possible. So
this is something that we're getting to, and I think a lot of us want to talk to it about. And I noticed too, like Kargoz, a lot of us played on private servers, and a lot of us, I've killed Rag and everything on private servers, and Anani, and for a fact that the armor difference has something to do with it, right? I feel like the ads went down a lot quicker. I feel like the ads on Rag when you guys killed them went down a lot quicker, just from watching what I've seen on the DPS and comparing it with DPS that I had on some of the fights that I did on private servers. But one of the biggest things that I think is making things a little feel easy is the amount of gear that is available right now that we didn't realize was going to be available. A lot of the pre-raid guides that we made are just wrong, because I didn't know animated chain necklace was going to be available. I didn't know the Domo chest was going to be available phase 1. As a ranged DPS, you have like a shit ton of gear that you would normally not have on a phase 1 or a 1.1 launch, right? So the fact that you have that available, if you're comparing it to vanilla WoW, right? First of all, you have the 1.12 talents. You have all this gear that's available that wasn't available. That came out at 1.3 or 1.6. Basically, anything that came out prior to 1.10. I don't know if that's 100%, but a lot of things that came out prior to 1.10 is basically in the game. So healers are geared out the ass when it comes to their pre-raid best in slot. A lot of ranged are geared out the ass when it comes to their pre-raid best in slot.
ton of spell
as
damage
well.
with Crimson Felt Hat, Star of Mysteria. Like you're so strong right now as a caster, dude.
So my question is, is that okay? Like, listen, I am 100%, in the realm of no changes, and I don't want things to change. But do you, like, when things are this easy, right, because of the gear that it's available now, that wasn't available then?
And talents, right? Talents, gear.
And talents, yeah.
There's not even any world buffs right now. Like we're not even really.
Exactly.
So
you don't even have DM buffs. Imagine when you have.
Here's the thing. You can make it harder for yourself though. You can do splits, so you can split it up and do 9 million different Onis. And then here's the thing. I do think the point I'm getting to is I think the real legs Classic has to stand on. One is like the recycling of new fresh servers and just doing it differently, faster, better, stronger, whatever it is. And PvP. I think PvP is going to be like a sleeper cell. A lot of people think it's an actual meme, PvP and Classic. Somehow they still think that. And there's a good amount of people out there, North included, OG Jeff, a lot of OG Haptics, a lot of people that are determined to show that Classic WoW PvP is super, super fun and engaging and fun to watch and fun to play. And it is very exciting and holds its own. And we're gonna. That's
that
kind
doesn't
of
mean we should just forget about PvE. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But one thing I want to say is, with everything I just said, I understand, because I was talking to Sarge yesterday. He's a first time WoW player. And he's playing Classic, and I understand for someone who's new, right? That you're looking right now at a very small amount of people that are killing MC. These are people that have done it in private servers. These are people that know the fight. These are people that have been there time and time again, have planned over and over throughout the years. So you really can't judge all this fairly when you're looking at 1% of the, not even 1% of the population. However, that being said, it is a fact that there is a lot of gear available right now that otherwise wouldn't be available if it was a fresh launch on a private server, or a 1.1.
If the launch had progressive itemization, right? So there's no progressive itemization.
We thought it was going to have. What my understanding was that any gear that was in the launch, that was in the original launch of Vanilla, would be in the game. However, it would be in its 1.12.
Right. Okay. I'm actually conflicting with myself right now. Okay, I see what you're coming from. So just to break this down for everybody, right? This was my understanding of it. That pretty much this is what I thought going into Classic. That the items, when you got an item in your bag, or put it on, it's never going to change its stats. You're going to get the final form of the item, and that's just like just a rule that will just persist and just be a thing. When you get an item, those stats will not change. There is no progressive itemization with regard to the stats changing on you as the content rolls out, right? But stuff like the Jinta lore quests, stuff like quests added later in the game, if it came out at a later stage, it would continue to come out at a later stage. Now, right. I'm not 100% certain on this, but is it appearing that stuff is coming out?
Yes.
Stuff is already out that prior to 110.
Jinta lore is already available.
Which is supposed to come out at what? Dire Maul? It's Dire Maul, right? I think it's supposed to come out on 1.4.
But not even talking about quests right now. Talking about items. So items such as, for instance, animated chain necklace, right? Was introduced in patch 1.3. Okay? That is a really nice, big healing neck item. Okay? It was my understanding, and a lot of people else's understanding, that item would not be available until phase 2, until Dire Maul was out, until later, right? Because that item came out in 1.3, did not come out at launch, did not come out at phase 1. The Domo chest, right? The items in there, you can literally make a prediction and have it for your progression to rat, right? You could, if you're.
We already have Breeze with it, bro. We already have Breeze with it.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. So if your guild is doing Domo one night, right? And say he already has the Eye of Darkness, because you can get it off the, people are like, oh, well, you have to wait till, no, you can get it off the elite mobs out in the Blasted Lands. So say you have the Eye of Darkness, say you get the Eye of Divinity that night, and you go and do the quest, and tomorrow you're doing Rag. You can literally have Benediction for Rag. Like, Cauterizing Band, all these amazing items that weren't available until patch 1.3, patch 1.4 are available right now.
1.3 should already be out though, right? Because Mardon,
no, 1.3.
No, that's 1.2.
No, 1.3 is Mardon, right?
Yes.
1.2 is Mardon. I'm pretty sure 1.3 is Mardon, guys. Chad, help me out here. 1.3 is Mardon. I'm pretty sure.
But Mardon, they already decided that Mardon would be in the launch, but that was already announced way back. I think that Mardon was already going to be in the launch.
1.2 right? is Mara? Oh, okay.
I think it's 1.2. Yeah.
I know for a fact, right, that we all know that Dire Maul, that's 1.3. So everything else, obviously the Dire Maul gear isn't available till Dire Maul. So why is gear that was available at the same point as Dire Maul that came out at that point, why is that gear available now? That's what I'm saying. I don't think, to me, makes sense. I think it would have made more sense to wait until, I love Benediction. It's one of my favorite items in this fucking game. However, I like to feel a little gimped once in a while. I like to feel like, okay, I've got my my Hand of Grace, and I've got that for a little while until Benediction comes out. I had these plans to have a certain spec, revolved around me not having that much spell power and this, that, and the other, because I didn't think that much gear was going to be available. There's a lot of gear available. Like, a lot of BIS lists are completely outdated now. There is so much gear that is even 1.4, 1.5, I think even up to 1.6 available gear that's available right now.
I feel with all the gear, with the quest, with the debuff slots, those things together now, we can definitely say they should have probably buffed it a little bit, the raid content. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I think it would be better for the game. Same for the dungeons, by the way. They are I've been told they are a little bit harder than they were on the beta. Is that right?
Say that again. I'm sorry.
Say it again. Yeah.
The dungeons, I've been told they are a little bit harder than they were on the beta.
Doesn't feel like it to me.
But I didn't play the beta, so I can't compare.
I would say that's about the same. You got to remember the people that were in the beta. We had a lot of time to. People were level 30 for a long time, so they got all the gear at level 30. So they were doing dungeons with the best gear they have possible.
Tons of Iron Maids, all that.
Yeah, exactly. So now you're doing, you might be doing SM Cath with gear that you had at level 20, or with Robes of Aragorn, So I think that plays a big part into it. But, one of the biggest factors for me, is the fact that, like you said, there's, when you talk about all these things together, the 1.12 talents, the gear that was available, that's available now, that wasn't available at launch, 1.3, 4, 5, 6 gear that is available now, the debuff slots, all these things together, it's not, obviously we knew that it wasn't going to be vanilla replica, but with all those things available, it would have probably been okay, I think, in my eyes, to maybe buff the armor or something like that a little bit more, knowing that all these things were going to be available.
Yes,
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Buffing it's so scary to think of man.
I mean, listen. I think right now it's too late. I think it's too late anyway.
Yeah, it's too late.
And it becomes less and less relevant the time goes on, because as time goes on, we're catching up, right? So we're catching up to when when BWL's out, it's going to be less of a problem. Once AQ out, it's going to be much less of a problem. Once Nax is out, there's no problem, right? Basically. So what I'm saying now is that it's already over, right? Basically, the change doesn't really come into effect now. It's just that it is a little sad. I mean, and then I'm saying I understand like MC is not a hard raid. It's the easiest raid. It's the introduction raid. However, it doesn't mean that we should trivialize it even more so. You know what I mean? I don't think it's okay that we should just trivialize it even more with all these things. But it's already, like I said, it's already done. And I do also understand. I think you got to look at this at both ways too, because right now we are looking at only the 1% of people that are clearing. A couple months down the line, there could be people who are struggling in MC, who are struggling on Rag, and people who never raided before, who never played WoW before, who are finding a little bit more of a challenge than me or you would, right? So, and that's okay. And I think you got to look at the whole picture, got to look at both sides. But I was just a little taken aback at how many items were actually available at the launch, and it kind of threw me for a loop. So, I guess it is what it is, though, right?
Yep, absolutely.
I don't know if there's anything you can do about it now.
I think we just we live with it, right? In future, give us what we wanted for 13 years or whatever it was for a couple of years, and then take a look at it a little bit down the line if people want to adjust anything. But I have some other talking points I want to talk about here. So some of the farms, for example, Maradon Princess runs. That's my ATM. That's Scepter of Celebris. That's like my Chase Sapphire card right there.
Celebris, good times. Come on.
That Scepter of Celebris is my Wells Fargo line of credit right there. It's that's something that I've utilized for many years on private servers and used to make money. So stuff is a little bit different in there. You can still do it, but I'm having a hard time killing Rot Grip, guys. Rot Grip is a beast. I even tried using Lufa on him. That's the crocodile down in the water. Now you can kill Princess as a warlock. I think almost warlocks have it easier than hunters right now. I guess the point I'm making is that I wonder if stuff is going to be how similar like Dire Maul is going to be to private server Dire Maul. I mean, Maradon Princess is moving way faster. She's moving way faster. It's a little bit harder to get her to jubate her into doing the little earthquake thing. You can still totally kill her and do so just with minor movement speed on boots. That's all you really need. You can get unlucky. You might have to pop a swiftness potion or use a nifty stopwatch or something like that. But that gold farm isn't as good as it could be right now. So I don't know. What does that look like for Dire Maul, Maradon? Oh, I found another good. I found another good gold farming method. I'll talk about it after you guys respond. I mean, do you think it's going to be the same?
I kind of hope Dire Maul is the same because that's how I'm going to make most of my money. I right now am very poor. I don't have much gold, right? I bought my 40 mount. I was basically broke. I have some gold. I'm working on it, you know. But as a priest, I gotta enchant, and I'm a little bit luckier than others. Like as a healing priest, I think a lot of healers know that there only are so many buffs and things and can't think of the word right now. Consumables that you can bring as a healer. DPS usually bring a lot more than healer does. However, I don't have many farming options in phase 1 as a holy priest. You can do lava runs, BRD, maybe do things like that where you sell the 7 dwarf people rolling that, but a lot of the other thing is like we're trying to gear the guild bank up. We're trying to get elemental fire, the things that I would normally be selling. Got to give it to the guild, right? The guild bank, so we can progress and this and another. Or honestly, we may not even need it. We may not even need fire protection potions. The way things are going, killing stuff so quick. So, but yeah, for the most part, I'm really looking forward to at least a little bit of doing those Dire Maul runs in Dire Maul East, where I kill lashers and getting a lot of gold through that. And I definitely
can you do that just with like Holy Nova and shit? That's all
absolutely,
you need?
just Holy Nova.
Just
you need a certain
Nova?
amount of intellect.
Yeah.
If you don't have power infusion, you can start doing it like level 55, 56, but you have to use power infusion for every pull at that low level. But once you have enough spell power and you have enough intellect, you can do it no problem with just spamming Holy Nova basically. Mm-hmm. Holy Nova heals you enough, does enough damage. As long as you have enough mana, you can kill the lasher groups no problem.
I was thinking to do the same with the Paladin, with this kind of protection holy spec, with concentration.
Yeah, you can do that as well.
Sanctuary. So I would hope it's the same. Or well, actually, I wouldn't mind if it was nerfed a little bit.
Now it was even nerfed a little bit on private servers, and I made plenty of enough gold doing on a private servers, even in its nerf state. So even if they do it in a similar state that they did on private servers, I'd be 100% okay with that. I usually make sure another way of making more gold in Dire Maul is going in there as an herbalist, because there's a lot of herbs you can pick up in DM, such as Dream.
Dreamfoil?
Dreamfoil, and sometimes you can pick up there. Once in a while there'll be a Grom. Can I think of the friggin' Grom?
Are you tailoring herbalism right now? Defcamp, what's your profession?
Right now, I am tailoring and enchanting. However, I'm dropping and enchanting to get mining so that I can get the mats for engineering. Then once I get my true faith, dropping. So it's a little complicated. I am tailoring and enchanting right now. I'm dropping enchanting to get mining, getting mining to get the mats I need for engineering, dropping tailoring once I get true faith to get engineering. Then once I'm done with the mining, that I got engineering up to full, I'm dropping mining to get herbalism to farm herbs.
You just get mining on an alt, bro. Just get mining on an alt, so you don't have to drop it at that point.
Yeah, it's true. I could, but I'm probably going to be focusing so much on my priest right now that it's easier to do it just on him.
Okay, I got you. Seamus, thank you very much for the $10, bro. I appreciate it, man. Thank you very much, dude. Yeah, it's great to be back. One thing that's really good, mining herbalism usually isn't like the greatest thing ever because you can only track one at a time, but in Maradon they do have mithril nodes there, and they also do have ghost mushrooms. I think ghost mushrooms are going to be very profitable. There's about 3, and there's also strangle kelp in the water underneath rock rip, so you can use those for thaps. They use strangle kelp for some other shit too, but Maradon is really good if you have mining herbalism, and you can use it to level those professions. Once you get up to the mithril tier and you get up to and then you can do ghost mushrooms. Don't even go out in the open world anymore. This is a pro tip. Just literally do Maradon and get those nodes. You can kill any class can kill that goblin guy. That goblin guy is a piece of cake. Everything is so non-social in the dungeons that you can just walk through past stuff. You don't need invis pots in Maradon anymore. You can just walk past the Demetrodon packs. You can pull the goblin guy while running and just kill him with dots as he's walking behind you. Get lots of nodes. That's just a little tip out there. People want to level mining herbalism. Or mining.
I heard you're really broke, but you're not doing enchanting to max it out, right? You're just using it to disenchant, or?
So I just did enchanting so far, Lesser and Greater Magic Wands, and then to disenchant.
See. Yeah, I'm trying to max out enchanting, and it's really draining my gold right now.
Yeah, dude. So here's reasons why enchanting is. You got to realize, man, so much of the gold that you get is from selling greens that are quest items, or just greens and right now, if you're level 30 or 40, something like that, you get a two-handed mage. It could sell for like 2 gold, 3 gold.
Mhm.
A lot of gold when you add up how many
I
times.
know. I'm constantly broke right now. I'm very happy I'm a paladin, so I don't just.
Yeah, you had your mount, but training. I mean, like you really guys, if you're not careful with what you train, if you're, say, for instance, a priest and you're doing shadow, like, don't train holy fire rank 4 if you're not using it. Like, save what you can. Save what money you can to get your mount or to do whatever you need to do. You don't need to train every single spell. Of course, as a lot of people know,
is buying the mount the play right now in phase 1? I wonder. What do people think? Buying the epic mount right now, or is it the play? I think I might do it.
I'm gonna try if I am. I don't know how.
Even with the coming, I don't think I look good on a horse anyway. I look weird. Hey North, I think I found a pretty decent way to make gold too and level your alt. I was doing it right before we started the GMA. If you're still in here, pretty much. Yeah, I have Warlock main, right? You keep the mage with you. You walk into an instance. You pull everything with your Void or your Warlock. You drop a Blizzard on it, right? And then you just move out and you just dual box it with Mage Warlock, and you do the whole dungeon. You get so much cloth, so much drops from all of them. I haven't mathed it out yet, but it's working really good. It's good XP per hour if you guys want to level your alts.
Yeah.
You can do pretty much every dungeon in the game that way, as long as you have Imp Blizzard.
Right. Yeah, so honestly, I think, for a lot of people right now, I've seen mages are killing it with what I've seen. The only person I think on our guild right now that has a mage, I think.
Is a mage?
Yeah, pretty sure. I think there might be more than one, but real quick, guys, I don't know if you want to talk about something else. The Ddos attacks.
Oh,
what did you guys think about all that, and what was your experience during the whole Ddos attacks?
That was crap because it wasn't weakened for us. Mokrane got hit pretty hard from the EU servers. It was a weekend where I had time to play. So yeah, that sucked.
Yeah, it really sucked.
It's solved now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope it's solved. I hope they don't find new ways to do those. But yeah, I think from EU only Mokrane got hit that hard, and in US the problem was quite a bit bigger. I think. Did you guys get hit by the?
Yeah, we got hit pretty hard. We were trying to log in and do dungeons, and Melderon. Listen, guys, Melderon, when he gets angry, he freaks out over WoW and whatever it is, and he was getting pretty angry. But it kind of, for me, like I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna chill, watch a show, and wait for it to come back. There's nothing I can do about it. But those kind of people, man, like, seriously, like, what do you get out of that? I don't understand. But yeah, it was kind of messed up. The fact that a lot of people were blaming Blizzard. They should have more protection. There's not much you can do from what I understand about DDoS attacks. There is so much you can do about it. But yeah, all in all, it sucked. It happened for a couple days. And I think things are pretty much back to normal right now.
I'm surprised how susceptible games are in 2020
yeah.
to DDoS attacks and stuff. I don't understand how it works, on the technical side.
Someone explained it to me. Basically, is what it is. It's like you're flooding the server with, like, forget now what it is, but you're putting in multiple accounts, and it basically floods their on their side. And, like, kind of imagine that you have a mailbox, right, Kargoz, and that someone sends 5 million letters of the same letter over and over and over again to your one mailbox,
Mm-hmm.
right? It just gets overflowed. It gets overstuffed, and I'm not very good technical, so I think that's the best description I'm going to give. But that's pretty much what happens, and I think.
You'd think they would have, like, velocity controls, though. If, like, someone spams 20 times, he just locks them out for a little while, or I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's crazy.
I don't know.
It feels like every game can get fucked up by DDoS still.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
One thing too,
I think they found something because it stopped. So they must have found something to protect themselves.
I'm a little bit late to the party with this, guys. Here's an actual really good tip, though, that I just started implementing yesterday, and it's already working amazingly well. So I had a couple bank alts. I have one of my bank alts on another account, so I can, for wiping in a dungeon or whatever. Wiping in a raid, or, we have downtime, waiting at Kargoz or whatever. I'm over here working the auction house doing whatever. But having different alts dedicated to different types of materials. So, like, having one for ore, having one for herbs, having one for potions, having one for mining-related stuff. really helps, man. And every time you get something that you just don't want to bother with, you feel compelled to vendor it or whatever, you can mail it off to one of your like branded alts, bank alts. And it's already, I'm seeing massive impact. All these bank alts are starting to fill up with resources in their banks now. And I think it's the play, man. I don't know if I never did that in the past before. I've had a bank alt or two, but having specific ones for mining, for whatever profession it is, there's no harm to it.
I think it's good. Yes, I think it's a very good thing to do. I'm personally not doing it. I have a bank alt for the guild, 3 bank alts for the guild, but I'm constantly stuck with full bags. So I think, really, it's the play to do. Some of my guildies are doing it. It seems to work. So, should do it, but I'm too lazy, I guess. I'm super lazy too doing it, but it takes 1 second. You don't even need to log into them. You just create them on the creator screen, and then anytime you're near a mailbox and you just have a bunch of junk in your bag, you just send it out, and you don't have to worry about it. And you know that when you go to that character, you're going to that character to get cloth. You're going to that character to get herbs.
Right.
I really think it's the play, man. I really think it's the play. Another thing, if you're a warlock out there, this is one thing I should have done sooner, man. Get your 20-slot soul shard bag crafted. You can buy the recipe in Teneris and get 2 of them. You can have 2. So I have 40 slots for shards.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And then just buy 16 slots. Buy like traveler's backpacks or whatever you got to do.
So you use those. Do you always have the 2 souls? So you only
I do, I always try and have 1 bag in reserve, and what it does for you is it allows you to feel more confident in using Shadowburn liberally. So if you already have a ton of soul shards already stacked up and you have 2 full bags full of it, you're like, I can just Shadowburn on cooldown on this boss, and I feel comfortable enough with the amount of shards I have in reserve to just regen on trash or have enough to do what I got to do. I really enjoy doing that, and then setting minimum thresholds of consumes you want to keep on you. This is my system, for example. I never leave out into the open world unless I have at least 40 grenades, 60 band-aids, 10 swiftness, 10 healing, and 10 of 1 Dr. Seuss potion. And I keep it clean in stacks in 1 bag. It's all stacked up there, and that is just like the minimum quantity you leave the world with. And if you don't have that, you're not appropriate to be out in the world because you can get fucked up. You don't have like the essential survival kit, you know what I'm saying? So nades, band-aids, 10 of each potion, so it stacks up real clean, 5-5, 5-5, 5-5. And then anytime you go under that, you go back to the city, you replenish up to that minimum amount.
I do the same thing, man, and I am like OCD with it. I like 10. If I have 9, I'm like, shit, I gotta go back and get the other one. I usually have, like I said, 10 mana pots, 10 health pots, 10 nades. I try to like to have 10 jungle remedies, strong anti-venom,
Oh, you keep the anti-venom, dude.
Oh man, dude. As a priest, I gotta have everything I can. Even I got the Heart of Noxium, the trinket that removes the 1 poison. But real quick, Kargoz, someone had a question I think that you could answer pretty well. So someone just asked, he said, is there a way so that your hunter can start shooting on click rather than using the auto shoot spell?
Man, no. You can, no. That's it's auto attack. That's when you right click. It's auto attack. You might be some.
I think he was asking like, is there a macro or something that you can use? Maybe.
You like mouse over auto attack? Nah, man. But you should have it just bound. It should be. I don't know. Just get used to it, man. Just get used to it. Whether it's tab or whatever. You can do it so that your auto shot though will try and target something in front of you. You can do it so like when you hit auto shot, like even if you have nothing select right now and you hit your auto shot, it'll try and find a target in front of you. You can do it that way as well. And there's a 0.5 second cast time, so if it is, on a wrong target or something, you could stop it, necessarily. But
I've been using a lot of different, and one macros. I'm sorry, macros. So one thing is like, as a healer, I don't know how you feel about the Dunedain. I like some mouse over macros, but when it comes to healing in a raid, I feel like I need to click the person's portrait or raid profile, because a lot of times when I'm using mouse over heals, I'm thinking that I'm healing a certain person, but I didn't realize when I started that heal, my mouse was over another person's raid frame, and often it'll be the cause of someone's death or something like that. So usually when it comes to straightforward heals, I usually don't use mouse over, but I do use mouse over for things like Shadow Word Pain, for harm spells. So it's a different macro for a harm spell and for a spell that's for a friendly. However, I was trying to find, I don't know if anyone out for Dispel for a priest, right? Because Dispel is a harmful and a like a heal spell, right? Because you can use it offensively and defensively. and I can't get it to work to where it can do both for one click. I have to have one harm and one heal or one positive for each. So I was wondering, does anyone know if there's a way that you can get a one button mouse over macro for Dispel so that you can just basically mouse over a friendly target, dispel them if they have, say, Frost Nova on them, and then mouse over a enemy target and dispel their power infusion or whatever. Is there a way to do that all in a one macro, or do you have to have multiple macros for that? Does anyone know?
I don't know about that. I only used mouse macros in arena.
Okay.
I never use them in vanilla actually. But do you use a Razor Naga or something like that?
I use a Corsair.
It's the same thing.
It has like the 12 buttons and all that. Yeah,
it's basically the same thing. I kind of feel like click and then use the buttons is almost the same.
Yeah, so, I have a ton of different like keybinds and macros that I use because for Skull of Impending Doom and by the way, the Skull of Impending Doom quest, love it. Oh, it was so much fun doing
did you get it done?
Dude, I got it done. I gotta tell you what though, getting that friggin' kelp to summon the last dude, took us an hour and a half to get that kelp to drop. Oh wait, someone put it here.
Yes.
Okay, so I got that. I got the help. You use cast no harm and cast harm in the same macro. Oh, okay. So I gotta use no harm and harm in the same macro, and that should work. Here it is. Mouse over help, no dead, dispel magic, harm, no dead. Is this okay? Oh, dude. Thank you, Phylos. That is perfect, my dude. I really appreciate that.
You got it? You got it figured out?
Yep, he got it for me. I'm copying that right now, and I'm going to put that in actually right now because I'm logged in. Sweet, dude. Thank you. I appreciate that. Getting help in stream. I appreciate it, man.
North is saying it's at cursor dispel magic too. /cast in brackets at cursor end bracket dispel magic.
See, the thing with dispel is, like Kargoz, it's a harmful and helpful spell.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because you can use it on friendly and exactly. Yeah. So so this should definitely work. Do
you use a lot of macros?
I use a good amount. Not too much, right? Not too much, but
not too much. Yeah. At the moment, let me think of the ones that I use. This spell is probably one of the biggest ones, dude. Like, it's so important. You have that bound on your Fell Hunter to dispel yourself. Very important. What else? There is... Man, I have to take a look at my macro guide, man. I mean, my macro pen. Let me see.
So I've got, like, dispel, a lot of different mouse overs for Shadow Word Pain, for certain heals for Renew. I had some cast sequence macros that I was using. Honestly, the way I feel about cast sequence macros is, you can either press one button like 5 times or press 5 buttons one time.
100%,
You might save like a 0.1 second, but I've gotten so quick with using my abilities in sequence that I feel like a cast sequence macro. It's just wonky, a waste of another fucking space on my. What I mean? And
here's one thing too. I just realized I'm looking at one of my characters right now. North, are you still here, bro? So one thing you guys should all get is a lot of trinkets in Classic. A lot of fun trinkets. A lot of stuff that you want to cycle through. So get Trinket Menu. It does work for Classic. It allows you to basically have a little box. You'll see it when I stream gameplay, and you're able to very quickly, snap new trinkets into the 13 and 14 slot. And then what you can do is you can set up binds to just use 13, use 14. So you don't have to drag the trinket each time from your character pane into a bind. You can just have a use 13, 14, swap it with Trinket Menu. That's one strat. So that's a little macro there to just use 13, use 14. And then also Item Rack is the other thing I was going to tell you guys about. You should get Item Rack because every class is going to have to build out different sets, right? I don't think any class is immune to that. Every class is going to have to build out different sets for different situations. So having that's going to be a real time saver.
I was actually planning to not use any macros for the first raid, to go like real vanilla. I think that the new interface allows you to do that. It's quite good as a healer.
I don't know about you guys, but I am so I need to find a friggin' I think itemization add-on. One that item sets, right? So you can do your holy
Item
set.
rack is one.
Yeah, so an add-on that'll basically like you can make a shadow set, a holy set. I still am not able to find an add-on.
It's
working
called
that
item
does
rack,
that.
I think.
Item rack. That's
Oh,
what I'm
is it?
using right now. Yeah, item rack is pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty nice. It's pretty
It
useful.
works?
I have it
Oh,
bound
shit.
right now, so like my numpad all the way on the right, I have it all to different sets. So if I hit 1, 2, 3, 4, it'll swap on different pieces for me. The PvP set.
Item
modified
rack?
Item rack.
Item rack,
Yeah, it's really nice. It's really nice. I enjoy this one a lot. I know North is saying that item rack has a trinket menu built into it though, but I love the UI of the trinket menu, man. It's so nice how it just sits right there and.
Oh, it has a trinket menu built into it because my trinket menu that I have wasn't working.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Dot timer add-on, Nug Runner, Blowy. I'm really liking that one.
Oh yeah, I like Nug Runner. Yeah.
Yep.
So you said item rack, right? Item
Yes.
rack. Let's see. In here, do I have to download it manually? Item. Does anyone know if it's in curse or not? Or oh yeah, there it is right there. Shit. All right.
I don't use it right now, but yeah, should work.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen
there's
people use it.
there's a good amount of and I think a lot of people that it's you really have to get comfortable with certain things. I know a lot of people I was talking to, because a lot of people are used to the old macro style. I was so used to the old macro style from private servers where you really have to type in a lot more than you need. So I'm still learning a little bit when it comes to the newer macro system because it's a little bit different when it comes to certain things, but. For the most part, guys, I mean, your overall experience so far with Classic, how's it been? Like everything,
I'm having a blast.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things I was and still am a little bit unhappy about. For example, the queues and the layering, but doesn't really matter. It's the game we have been waiting for. Even though it's not perfectly as I would have liked it, it's still super fun. Enjoying it a lot. Try to play it as much as I can. And try to do everything I can in the game on a slow pace, fishing, cooking, leveling, doing all the delivery quests where you run from Stormwind to Westfall to Redridge and back to Stormwind and all those things.
Dunedain doing it right.
Really like
Dunedain smelling the roses. Very philosophical way of playing the game, yeah. It's a beautiful thing.
It's really cool. Yeah.
I feel the same way, Defcamp.
Perfect. Yeah.
I'm really having a good time, man. I'm having a good time, dude. This is the freshest of all freshes. It's like, it is so much fun, dude. I'm constantly having like 11 out of 10 fun levels,
Hell yeah.
Every day waking up feeling motivated, having stuff to do, like playing our actual characters. It has been a trip, man. It has been a trip.
You can
really
see
has.
it on our faces.
Yeah, our tired, ate-up boomer faces. We were just freaking grinding in this game.
Just one thing, there was that news post a while ago where they said you get a free 110 level character on retail when you hit level 60. Tops.
Free 110. What's BFA, dude? I forgot what that was.
Sounds pretty desperate to me. I still want to go on record and say this, guys. I am so proud and happy and just so overwhelmed and overall just glad that Classic WoW is the success that it is. People are realizing just how amazing that this game is. I know so many people that never played WoW before that are now playing Classic WoW. I know so many people that played only BFA or only Legion or only started playing, since like Wrath or Cataclysm and are playing Classic WoW and are loving it. We were all saying this for so long that this game is so much more than nostalgia, right? It's so much more than, just memories and this and the other. It's a good fucking game with core, amazing gameplay and
looks great too.
RPG
it looks good
elements.
Still, man. It looks
and
good.
It looks amazing.
It looks good,
This
right?
game is beautiful.
It looks good.
It holds so well to today.
It does.
And
you have to say
what?
the new graphics are good, actually.
Yeah, I like them too, man.
Overall, I think they've done an amazing job bringing Classic back. I hope with Phase 2, Langer will be gone, and as time goes on, things will become more. It's just overall, I am so fucking happy, dude. I am just out of my fucking mind. I'm playing Classic WoW with my brother, with my friends, with people that I love. With it's so awesome, and I'm having a blast.
We got years to come, dude. This is gonna be an era. Like it's we're just at the beginning, right? How many weeks has it been? 3? Is it 3 yet, or 2 still? 2.5.
I don't even know. I've
two.
lost.
It's still 2.
I'm
two
lost
in
in sauce,
two in a day or 2, I think. Yeah, 2 in 2 days.
Have any of you guys out there playing? Have you guys entered the delirium realm like me? Like this has felt like 2 years, but it's been 2 weeks. Like it has felt like a long time since the game started, and it's been 2 weeks.
There's something to come down to, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It has slowed down for me. Time is great. That was only 2 weeks ago when we stepped in for the first time. It feels like it's been months already, man. But it's crazy.
It's crazy, man. Like I said earlier, I have been lost in this game. Like everything in my life right now, I had like really crazy day at work today. We had an audit kind of thing going on. I didn't even care, dude. I was just thinking about classic WoW, looking in Discord messages and stuff like that. Like it's overwhelmed every part of my life right now.
Yeah. I'm so grateful to have this community too. Like not to just get too, circle jerky with it, but it is such a privilege though, Defcamp, Dunedain, like that we have people that we can like talk with like this, just stream and just talk with random people on the internet like this.
Yeah,
it just makes it that much more fun to me. Like
I hear you, man.
It's great.
The guild thingy is also really a fun thing to do. Like creating the guilds, getting to meet the people, talk with them a lot on chat, in game, building the community.
No doubt.
We've been waiting for that for so many years,
dude. Actually being able to play with these people that I've talked to for
years.
I've met some very
now.
great people. It's really nice.
Yeah.
And we're going to BlizzCon, boys. We're going to BlizzCon.
BlizzCon.
Anybody going to BlizzCon in the chat here? It's not too late. Even if you can't get a ticket, you can still come chill. We're gonna do a little Classic WoW event there, probably just at a local bar. Gonna get just a bunch of people who are in the classic scene together, and then we'll probably do like a happy hour type thing. Hang out, meet a bunch of people. It's gonna be fun, man. BlizzCon is gonna be a blast. The first BlizzCon post Classic WoW launch, dude. We taking over that BlizzCon.
Oh,
so
already know.
Shall we do some kind of Discord Skype call? Because I cannot.
Yeah,
dude.
Probably Dunedain. We're just gonna have a like a pad with just your face. We're gonna carry it around. We're gonna put it on a tier 2 Judgment Sets guy's body.
They have this. They have this thing now in California. It's they have these like a robot with wheels, and it stands up and it's like 6 feet tall, but it's got a screen 6 feet up with the person's head.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can basically be there with people, and we'll get one of those set up for you, bro. So you'd be walking around, but you'll be controlling it with a little remote or something, and we'll see your head.
Oh, that would be super.
They have them now, dude. They have those now. Oh, Platinum WoW in here. What's up, man?
Man. Platinum in the house.
WoW, dude. Another legend, dude.
Right.
Dude, I gotta say, man, it's just been like, it still gets me sometimes where I'm like, we're actually playing Classic right now. It's yeah.
I want to go play right now, dude. I want to go play right now.
I can't.
Yeah.
I got this. Item rack. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Okay, so
yeah, it's a good one.
Now, where's the trinket? I'll figure it out. The trinket menu. You said there's a built-in trinket menu.
Yeah, built-in trinket menu. Yeah. So you guys want to round it up? We've been talking for. I thought it was gonna go extra long, but I think we covered a good amount today, and I'm down to keep doing these like weekly now. Like it's all on you guys. Whatever you guys want to do, I'm down.
Sure.
It's
same thing.
We're past that super high intensity phase. People are hitting 60, working on alts now. Like stuff it's a little bit more chill now, and I think we have some breathing room. You know what I mean? We can do this a little more regularly. I would love to do this next week.
I'm down for it, man. I'm always super grateful to be on these, and I want to keep doing this. So yeah.
Same here, dude. It's honestly, Melderon's here in spirit today. You can see his. I didn't even mention him. Ghost Wolf form.
Ghost Wolf form.
Yeah, he's here in spirit today. He's at work, but being able to do the show with you guys and it's I love it. I think we've really got a good thing going here, guys. The fact that we were recognized on the official WoW. Did you see that?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
I did
we were
see that.
recognized as one of the official WoW. What was it called? Community
talk shows or something. Yeah.
Talk shows. Yeah, as GMA, and Def Talk was in there as well. So that was really cool, man. That was really cool seeing that. And I love you guys. I fucking love you guys. I love all you guys in chat. We're playing classic WoW, boys, and
I do.
Yeah, we got more to come, more years to come, and. We'll be playing together, streaming together, doing raids together, whatever. It's it's awesome, man.
Life is too short, ladies and gentlemen. Enjoy it every day. Make sure you enjoy it. Do something nice for someone. Like play with your friends. Life is too short, man. It's a fleeting
That's right,
thing,
brother.
dude. Only two things
Come
are
and
certain:
say hi.
death and
sometime.
taxes. So make sure you're having fun playing the game and just living every day to the fullest. And that's pretty much.
Come and
So,
say
yeah.
hi on Mokrane if you want to, but not if you're Horde, please.
Not if you're horny. I'm making a pally on your server, my man. I'm making a pally.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
I tried to reserve your name, but it's taken.
Oh, it got taken down.
Yeah.
Okay.
What's my game played? I'm at 7 days. 7 days, 8 hours right now.
7 days.
What do you
8
got, Cart?
hours.
What's your play time?
You don't even want to know.
I
my
spend
man.
a
Let
lot
me
of
see.
time AFK. I spend a lot of time AFK.
Nah,
I've been
dude.
AFK this whole time.
Dude, how long has the game been out? That's my playtime, pretty much, dude. Mine is 4 hours here and there. That's pretty much been it.
Yeah.
That's
all right.
Kargoz for you.
But yeah, let him know Dunedain, he puts these on his channel, the VODs as well,
I'll
and
link it again.
yeah.
If you guys are looking for a leveling guide, by the way, if you're still out there grinding and you enjoy that, go to classicwow.live and /leveling. Yeah, put the link in the chat. This is a site that we've all worked on over the past year, put a lot of effort into it. So even just going there for guides, forums, anything you need, Classic WoW related, this is a site for you, by you. Believe it or not, you made this. Whoever's watching this, you made this, dude. This is all us right now. This is a very grassroots
community built site, man.
community site, and it's there's no other game, no BFA there, nothing like that. It's all classic resources, classic everything. So check it out, classicwow.live.
A lot more to come as well.
A lot more to come. Yep, absolutely.
Yep.
Shout out to Scare, everyone on Scare'em. Shout out to everybody in Invictus. Shout out to everybody in the Fellowship and Dunedain's Guild.
The Fellowship, man. It's such a good guild. I can say it right.
He's smiling cheek to
Guild
cheek,
leader.
man. He loves it.
But
He's
come and join us. We still accept socials. We still really need some priests too for raiding. I don't know what happened, but all the priests they vanished. I don't know why.
Yeah, we're lacking priests too. We need Defcamp to hurry up, man.
I'm coming, brother. I'm coming.
Yeah.
But I'll probably be streaming later on today if you guys want to come hang out. Wait till like Melderon comes home, and maybe stream some Jinthil lore later or something like that. So,
Sounds
and
good.
then yeah.
All right, guys.
Can I add the
Sure.
Discord before we end?
Oh,
yeah.
Trying to do it fast. Okay. There we go. Good.
Yeah, people asking
So,
for the
if you want to
Discord.
join
There
us-
you go. Yeah.
Come and check out the Discord and meet us in game.
Yep.
It's a really good community.
All my EU brothers and sisters, here's Dunedain's Discord. There you go. Yep. That's pretty much it. Till next week, guys.
Yeah, see you, man.
Till next
Keep on
week.
keep binding and grinding.
Take care, Azeroth. Take care of yourself. We'll see you in a couple days. Peace out.